Likewise, today we will give a discourse on the Dharma. What Dharma teaching will be given today? It is the 46th episode of the Visualization Practice of Compassion and Bodhicitta series. The topic is attaining Buddhahood in this very life or body and the prerequisites and shortcuts for practicing the great perfection. What exactly are they? Today, we will also mention some cases that are spoken of in the sutras. These cases describe one particular matter, the consequence of loving too deeply. You truly need to listen to this. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand what life really is. What is reincarnation? What consequences will there be if you do not engage in Dharma practice? From these cases, you will see this very clearly. Before we officially begin this topic, let us do a brief review. In previous sessions, we have already started to explain the causes of the arising of greed, hatred, and ignorance. Many times, why do we give rise to greed, hatred, and ignorance? One of the reasons may be that you have been scolded or faced a setback. Why is it that when we are scolded, we so easily give rise to greed, hatred, and ignorance? Do they truly exist or not? We must, in fact, observe ourselves. Then, how do we understand that these have arisen within us? It is when you are scolded and your emotions are easily agitated, that means you are someone deeply burdened by greed, hatred, and ignorance. The reason may be that you are too sensitive, and do not know how to balance your emotions. Or, it may be that your heart is filled with anger which you cannot suppress, and you do not know how to handle it, thus such a condition arises. If you continue not to deal with it, it becomes extremely dangerous for you. It may become the principal cause for you to fall into rebirth in the 3 lower realms. Buddha Shakyamuni taught that greed, hatred, and ignorance are habitual tendencies accumulated by sentient beings over countless lifetimes. They have already become habitual. Therefore, we must find the source. This happens because there are errors in our behavioral formulas. Since, over many lifetimes, we have never corrected them, the tendencies have only intensified. Anger is actually an expression of our hatred. But is it always absolute? There is only one exception, when anger arises out of compassion. This kind of anger is only an outer appearance of anger. For example, in esoteric Buddhism there are the wrathful deities. Their outer appearance is fierce, and their actions seem wrathful. Yet their hearts are filled with compassion. Within their minds, there are no emotions of greed, hatred, and ignorance, only compassion. This is the only exception. You might find this strange. Can there really be such a situation? Yes, there can. Later, I will share a real case to explain what is meant by anger that arises from compassion. I will speak about that case shortly. If we do not seek the source of our hatred and fail to correct the errors in our behavioral formulas, we will certainly fall into rebirth in the 3 lower realms, hells, hungry ghosts, or animals. Psychologists consider anger to be one of the most primitive emotions within the human emotional system. However, in human social culture, anger is often repressed, and this suppression itself gives rise to emotional problems. If the method of our Dharma practice does not use that awareness to correct our behavior and faulty behavioral formulas, if you do nothing, without that awareness, without correction, then your 5 aggregates will remain filled with greed, hatred, and ignorance. Yet your mouth keeps reciting mantras, you enter meditation concentration, and you recite the Buddha's holy names, but in reality, this is of no use. This may help you accumulate a small amount of merit, perhaps enabling you to hear more Dharma teachings. But can it truly prevent you from falling into the 3 lower realms? That is the crucial point, is it not? It cannot. Why is that? Because within the operation of nature, what pulls you down into rebirth is your own mind, your own greed, hatred, and ignorance, not the Buddhas or Bodhisattvas who can hold you back. Your mind's nature is such, and they cannot alter it for you. They can only teach you the Dharma from the side. Therefore, if your Dharma practice focuses merely on chanting mantras, entering the meditation concentration, or reciting the Buddha's holy names, it will not truly help you. You must work at the root cause and use your awareness to correct your conduct. In this way, your 5 aggregates can become completely purified. Then, what does it mean when we say that the 5 aggregates are empty? It means that within them there remains no element that can pull you into the three lower realms. All of them have been removed. In that case, your Dharma practice will truly benefit you. Otherwise, you will continue to wander endlessly in samsara. Do not think that chanting mantras billions or trillions of times can surely help you. It may increase your merits slightly, but it may not prevent you from falling into the three lower realms. Therefore, you must be very careful about this. What are the general causes for the arising of uncontrollable anger? It is because certain desires, wishes, or needs within us are not being fulfilled. The American psychologist Maslow proposed the well-known hierarchy of needs theory. It states that human beings have 5 categories of needs: physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, love and belonging, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. Now, since human beings possess these 5 kinds of needs, when we study the Dharma, can it satisfy these needs? In fact, we have already discussed this in previous sessions. However, we focused on one fundamental need, the one that everyone is most concerned with, the need for safety. In other words, can our study of the Dharma help us to be free from suffering, free from danger, and free from illness? These are our main concerns, are they not? Within the Dharma, there are 2 divisions: the teachings of the Hinayana, the small vehicle, and those of the Mahayana, the large vehicle. The teachings of the Hinayana aim only to liberate oneself, like a small vehicle that can carry only one person, hence the name. The other is called the Mahayana, which includes both the exoteric and the esoteric Buddhist teachings. It is like a large vehicle that can carry many people, saving both oneself and others. However, although the exoteric and the esoteric Buddhism both belong to the Mahayana, their methods of practice differ greatly in their inner approach. Let us take a look. How do they face suffering, danger, and illness? The Hinayana uses the method of cutting off afflictions to realize enlightenment. By severing all defilements and avoiding them, one naturally progresses towards the realization of enlightenment. The exoteric Buddhism says that we can transform these afflictions, changing them so that they become the very means by which we attain enlightenment. The esoteric Buddhism, however, teaches differently. These afflictions themselves are the opportunity through which their awareness can arise. Enlightenment is their awareness. Thus, one faces afflictions by recognizing that afflictions are enlightenment itself. What, then, is the method of practice in the Hinayana? In terms of perception, practice, conduct, and result, the approach is always avoidance. Yet it has one advantage: its methods include visualizations. Such visualizations guide practitioners to become single-pointed and focused upon certain contemplative states, which still help them to develop their awareness, and at the very least, to free themselves from reincarnation. Because these practices include visualizations, they have been transmitted for a long time and are still regarded by many as solid and reliable methods. Their visualizations are known as the 4 thoughts that turn the mind towards the Dharma, all of which involve visualizations. The first is the visualization of the body as impure, the second, the visualization of feelings as suffering, the third, the visualization of the mind as impermanent, and the fourth, the visualizations of dharmas as no self. Within the visualization of dharmas as no self, there are many levels of visualization teachings, both in the northern and southern traditions. We have already discussed these in detail. You may refer to our Compassion series, episode 41, How to Determine Whether a Religion or Sect Can Truly Help Sentient Beings to Be Free from Suffering and Attain Eternal Happiness, and also to the classification of the Dharma in practice, the essence of emptiness, where further explanations can be found. You must understand that for any method of Dharma practice, if you wish to determine whether it can truly succeed, you must see whether it includes 2 aspects, the theoretical aspect and the aspect of actual practice. Yet, the practical aspect must involve visualizations. Many people say, I am practicing. I constantly chant mantras and recite the Buddha's holy names, that is real practice. Others say, I keep meditating and entering samadhi, is that not real practice? None of these, in themselves, constitute true practice. True practice involves the element of visualization. That is, when you perform these practices, do you engage in visualizations? That is the key point. There are many methods of cultivation in the Dharma. There are 84,000 methods. However, not every method of practice can help one to attain the goal of liberation from samsara or Buddhahood. The effectiveness among them differs greatly. Let us observe that Buddhism has 10 schools. The differences in their methods of practice are indeed very great. As for the Hinayana, we shall not speak further, since we have already discussed it. Let us now look at the Mahayana. In the Tiantai school, the one mind and 3 visualizations is a contemplation practice, but it has been lost. In the Sanluan school, the right visualization of non-attainment has also been lost. The Vinaya school itself does not involve any visualization practices. In the Pure Land school, the 16 contemplations of Amitabha have been lost. In the Yogacara school, the 5-fold visualization on the mind only has also been lost. In the Zen school, the visualization of the original face has likewise been lost. In the Huayang school, the visualization of the Dharma realm has also been lost. The esoteric Buddhism is different. It possesses countless methods of visualization practice. Indeed, they are innumerable. These practices encompass various levels, involving emptiness, the awareness, the principal direction of cultivation, and different stages of practice. They even include methods that satisfy the 5 kinds of needs. Moreover, if the guru is able to instruct properly, all these methods can indeed be brought into perfect balance. If you look at the practice of the exoteric school, its method of actual practice does not include visualizations. It is almost none. Yet, can we say that it is entirely absent? There is still a small portion indeed. For instance, in the practice of meditation, there is still a small degree of visualization. For example, when one visualizes the breath, if we speak of it as with form, it still involves a small degree of visualization. However, these are entirely insufficient. The reason why all the visualization practices have been lost is that many people today prefer the easy and effortless way of reciting Buddha's holy names. They believe this method of cultivation is the best, and as a result, the most refined and effective practices and theories have vanished. So where lies the fatal weakness of the Mahayana exoteric school? It lies in the excessive praise of the merit of reciting Buddha's holy names, which has caused the disappearance of many genuine visualization practices that could truly help Dharma practitioners. This has also led Buddhism as a whole into the Dharma-ending age. Why is this so? The profound teachings of the Dharma have all vanished, while the superficial ones, which offer little real benefit, are still widely praised. This influence is great. Another point is that many people quote certain sutras to prove that merely reciting Buddha's holy names brings success. However, the Mahayana sutras appeared several centuries after the Buddha's nirvana. Therefore, we must verify their content to determine authenticity. Hence, it is not appropriate to boast about them. As they were written several centuries after the Buddha's nirvana, we do not know who wrote them, do we? If one insists on boasting about these texts while ignoring logical, theoretical, analytical, or practical aspects of Dharma practice, without deep exploration, or seeking confirmation from great practitioners with solid experience. If one neglects all of this, disregards verification, and merely praises the written versions, without knowing who wrote them or confirming that they were spoken by Buddha Shakyamuni, then such boasting becomes a way of misleading sentient beings. This will cause our methods of practice to deviate and become distorted, thus leading us into the Dharma-ending age. Some people say that entering the Dharma-ending age is due to people's unwillingness to practice. However, you should clarify at the very root that it is because the teachings are poorly delivered or carelessly given, which has caused the entry into the Dharma-ending age. It should be explained in this way. Since people practice diligently yet achieve no success, or attain no real quality, they then stop practicing. Which is the cause, and which is the effect? You must make this clear. Thus, the problem lies in the cause. It is in the teachings themselves, where the most essential visualization practices have been eliminated and lost. People are merely encouraged to think that they need do nothing, that simply living ordinary lives and reciting the Buddha's holy names ensures success, even guaranteeing it. This has made sentient beings believe your mistaken theories, thinking they are true and workable, which in turn has caused their downfall. All sentient beings prefer the easy and avoid the difficult. Since you say that the most perfect success can be gained so easily, what more needs to be said? Those genuine visualization methods that could truly help them are no longer studied or practiced. They merely recite Namo Amitabha, or chant a few mantras and think that is enough. In this way, the whole of the Dharma truly collapses, and all sentient beings fall with it. What happens to those beings? They continue to wander in samsara. Because they have wrongly trusted you, they remain in cyclic existence. Reflect upon this. How great is the karma you have thus created? Therefore, those who teach the Dharma must never, for the sake of protecting their own sect, bury their sect, the entire Dharma, and all sentient beings together. You will bury their inherent awareness, and their spiritual nature, all will be covered and lost. This is truly tragic. Therefore, remember this. It is not suitable to boast or excessively praise certain contents of the sutras, nor should one exaggerate the benefits of mantra power, or the recitation of Buddha's holy names. It is not that they have no benefit, do not misunderstand, reciting mantras is indeed beneficial, the power of the mantra is inconceivable. Reciting the Buddha's holy names is beneficial, and the Buddha's holy names themselves is a kind of merit, it can help us. But can it help us transcend samsara, or attain Buddhahood? Can it help us completely purify the greed, hatred, and ignorance within our 5 aggregates? Can one merely chant mantras in this way and fulfill all one's wishes? The answer is no. Do you understand? Because the 3 realms concern the law of cause and effect. Each cause must correspond to a particular result. The effect that corresponds to reciting the Buddha's holy names is quite limited. It is not as vast, profound, or extensive as you may imagine. The same applies to mantra recitation. That is, certain results can indeed be achieved, yet for most of the essential and significant attainments, it cannot be achieved. You must understand this clearly. Hence, we must never abandon rational analysis, otherwise, you may bring about great misfortune, and cause the Dharma to enter the Dharma-ending age. For further details, you may refer to our Dudjom Buddhist Association, International's YouTube channel, The Compassion Series, Episode 42. How great are the differences in the effectiveness and speed of various Buddhist practices? Now, let us take a look at this diagram. This diagram is very important to us. Later, I shall give a detailed explanation of the many stages involved in the Mahayana Buddhist practice, and whether all these stages can be condensed so that we may attain Buddhahood through the current body. Therefore, you must have a very clear understanding of this diagram. For a detailed explanation, you may refer to Dudjom Buddhist Association, International's YouTube video entitled, The Classification of Buddhist Practice, The Essence of Emptiness, where it has been discussed. However, today, I shall provide an outline of the methods of condensation for these different stages. Originally, from the stage without doubts, when you first begin to learn Buddhism, to the initial stage of success in Dharma practice, and finally to the completion and perfection of the 4 preliminary practices, how long would this take? I refer here to true success, not merely a superficial effort, not like water flowing over a duck's back, nor simply chanting a few mantras and assuming all stages are complete. To truly achieve and perfect such attainment requires 1 asamkhya kalpa. 1 asamkhya kalpa equals to 10 to the 51st power of the time it takes for the universe to go through the process of formation, existence, destruction, and emptiness. Now, if you progress from the 1st to the 7th level of sattva in achievement, or attainment, it will take you another asamkhya kalpa. Then, from the 8th to the 10th level of bodhisattva, you will need yet another asamkhya kalpa. And still, you have not attained Buddhahood. You must cultivate further through the 10.5 level and the 11th level before you can reach complete and perfect Buddhahood. Now, esoteric Buddhism claims that one can attain Buddhahood in this very life, or this very body. What method does it employ, and how can it make such a claim? This is because of a subtle yet vast difference. A small deviation can lead to a great divergence. The Mahayana exoteric school practices within the cause, while esoteric Buddhism practices within the result, hence it is direct. What does it mean to practice within the result? It means that we must transform the mind into wisdom and train for the development of the 5 wisdoms. The main direction of cultivation is to enhance the awareness. Only in this way can we attain Buddhahood in this very life. Why is this so? What is the ultimate and complete result that we aim to accomplish? This result is to achieve the perfect enlightenment, 100% perfect enlightenment, without the slightest deviation, the entirely correct state of the awareness of the perfect enlightenment. If, during cultivation, you are not practicing with focus upon that awareness, that is, not practicing within the result, but rather cultivating through various virtuous causes, performing good deeds, reciting mantras, making offerings or charitable acts to sentient beings, then you are practicing within the cause. You are merely planting causes slowly, hoping to elevate your awareness in the future. This is not truly practicing directly within that awareness itself, therefore, it is very slow. Thus, from the very beginning, when we first embark on the study of Buddhism and cultivate the 10 beliefs, we must connect our Dharma practice with the awareness. What are the 10 beliefs? From the 10 beliefs, we must cultivate the awareness when we start. This is discussed in the Names of Sages and Holies, the upper volume of the Sutra of the Garland of a Bodhisattva's Primary Karmas. The 10 beliefs are the mind of deep-seated confidence, the mind of thoughtful awareness, the mind of diligence, the mind of wisdom, the mind of meditational concentration, the mind of no return, the mind of dedicating merits, the mind of protecting the Dharma, the mind of observing precepts and the mind of keeping vows. For detailed explanations, please refer to our Compassion series, episodes 30, 31, and 32. If we wish to attain Buddhahood in this very life, or through this very body, we must, from the very beginning of cultivating the 10 beliefs, connect our Dharma practice with the awareness. The 10 beliefs are a cause, and only when this cause is linked with the result, that is, with the awareness, will it produce genuine effect. If this connection is absent, and there is no relationship between cause and effect, then no matter how well you cultivate the 10 beliefs, even if you do so for one asamkhya kalpa, you will still be far, far away from Buddhahood. You will never be able to attain Buddhahood in this very life. Now, what is the awareness? Is there a method that can help us generate the awareness? In the past, no one has ever taught this. Now, I have extracted it from the oral pith instructions in the Diamond Sutra. Previously, no one had ever spoken about the essential oral pith instructions of the Diamond Sutra. That is, they have explained the entire Diamond Sutra, but have never captured its essential point. What we have done is to extract the most crucial oral pith instructions from the Diamond Sutra, and integrate them with daily life, forming for you a complete program of mind training and Dharma practice, a method that shows how the awareness is developed. This method of mind training and Dharma practice helps us develop the awareness. It is the key focus, a central form of Dharma practice. The first is the mind training procedure. How to integrate it into daily life. This alone includes 5 steps. The second is the oral pith instruction from the Diamond Sutra, not abiding in notions. The third is the second oral pith instruction from the Diamond Sutra, not abiding anywhere in order to arouse one's awareness. The fourth is how we may use the first 3 to assist in the development of the 5 wisdoms. Then, the 5th point is that we may integrate with emptiness, neither existence nor voidness. And thus our Dharma practice will be accomplished. These are the true core of Dharma practice. Of course, even though we have the core of Dharma practice, we still need certain supports. So, what kinds of supports should we apply? They are Dharma practice techniques such as chanting mantras, reciting Buddha's holy names, entering the meditational concentration, and visualizations. These are all assistive methods. Then what, truly, is the primary focus? The true core is the complete method of mind training and Dharma practice that I am now teaching you, the method for developing the awareness. The secondary elements, such as visualization, meditation, reciting Buddha's holy names, or the power of mantras, are merely supports that help the core Dharma practice succeed. That is, where is the root? It lies in the entire method of cultivating the awareness. The superficial aspect consists of chanting mantras, reciting Buddha's holy names, meditation, and visualization. I am not saying these are useless, I am saying they are not fundamental. You must understand this clearly. Now, let us take a look. You say, to avoid suffering, threats, and illness. Both the Hinayana and the Mahayana actually use the same approach, for they often say that the body is a stinking bag of skin, and that we should not rely upon it. Avoiding pain is natural. If you can avoid it, you do. If you cannot, you tell yourself, it's normal, that's just the way it is, right? However, in the esoteric Buddhism, we speak of afflictions being bodhi, meaning that if you can face your afflictions and not escape from them, and you can successfully counteract them, then upon overcoming any affliction, the awareness will naturally be developed. And that is bodhi. This tells you that affliction is itself bodhi. Afflictions are bodhi, for they help you. Therefore, in our mindset, we must regard every affliction as an opportunity to develop the awareness, or bodhi. Yet in the process of treatment, you must be cautious. If you do not apply the 5 steps of the mind training procedure, you can easily abide in notions. Once you abide in notions, it will transform into greed, hatred, and ignorance. And this will become the main cause for your lower rebirth. Therefore, we must remember that the fundamental cause of our continued reincarnation, and the reason why our cultivation never succeeds, is precisely abiding in notions. Later, I will present a case that will clearly show you what abiding in notions means. One of my disciples once asked me, I do sit meditation, but what does it mean to abide in notions? I will explain this shortly. Since most today's esoteric Buddhist gurus do not emphasize the practice of precepts and emptiness, most esoteric Buddhist practitioners have become attached to the numerous happenings and notions within esoteric Buddhism, thus abiding in notions. Ironically, this has become the main cause for their lower rebirths. Therefore, you must be very careful. Now, what method does esoteric Buddhism use to fulfill the wish to be free from suffering, threats, or illness? Actually, you must first understand one essential thing. From the very moment we step into the Buddha's path, we must recognize something called renunciation. If your renunciation is weak, or if you do not truly understand it, then no matter how diligently you practice the Dharma, you will never succeed. After a while, you will stop practicing, you will regress. Therefore, you must possess a firm renunciation. There are 2 levels of understanding this renunciation. The first is to depart from all suffering. It does not mean leaving your community or family, but rather transcending suffering itself, and thus we must wisely deal with pain. We should face suffering with the 2 key oral instructions: do not escape, and do not abide in notions. The second is determination. Determination is vital. Without a firm resolve to liberate yourself completely from samsara, you will never succeed in your Dharma practice. However, determination alone is not enough, you must also have the right method. You must learn and carefully choose the correct practice methods. Many people choose wrongly. You must select those methods that can truly help you escape from samsara, or attain Buddhahood. What does it mean to wisely handle suffering? It means we must first examine our virtuous, the evil karmic portfolio. Should we first deal with the good, or the evil karma? We should, in fact, begin with the good. We must strengthen our energy, the energy of good karma, before we can handle the bad karma, right? Therefore, in Dudjom Buddhist Association, International's introductory teachings, the very first is accumulation virtuous merits, which has 3 levels. They are do not escape, and do not abide in notions. These are what we use as our renunciation, to depart from suffering. Even to transcend pain, we must have a method. If your suffering and problems remain right in front of you, what method can resolve them? In other words, only when they are resolved can you truly depart from suffering, right? This has already been explained in our Compassion series, episode 43. It is called the Visualizations of the 8 Auspicious Signs and the 7 Treasures of a Wheel-Turning Monarch. Please refer to the Compassion series, episode 43. What are the supports for esoteric Buddhism's attainment of Buddhahood through the current body in the present lifetime? Then you will understand. The second teaching that disciples of the Dudjom Buddhist Association, International, receive upon entry is to accumulate emergency merits, which is also divided into 3 levels. The visualization practice to be performed is upper offering and lower giving, and it has an oral pith instruction associated with it. If you are able to learn this oral pith instruction, and genuinely practice it, it can purify the karmic obstacles accumulated over many lifetimes. What is the name of this practice? It is called the prayer before meals, and it is a type of visualization training of compassion. You can review episode 44 of our compassion series, Emergency Methods for Entering the Realm of Ghosts, or Remaining in the Intermediate State of Bardo After Death, where this teaching is discussed. The third introductory teaching of the Dudjom Buddhist Association, International, is to accumulate virtuous merits for liberation from samsara. What are virtuous merits for liberation from samsara? They are also divided into 3 levels. Essentially, this means training your meditational concentration and cultivating your awareness, or bodhicitta. Why must one have this meditational concentration? Because such concentration can generate an energy that helps cut off the connection to the 6 realms, and only then can it truly help you. Its oral pith instructions can even help you enter the Dharma realm and attain Buddhahood. This is the Tibetan esoteric Buddhist meditation known as the 7-point postures of Buddha Vairocana. It is the only meditation method that can generate the energy capable of severing the connection to the 6 realms. It is the only one that can accomplish this. All other meditation methods cannot. Only this method can achieve that. Of course, you must practice it together with the oral pith instructions. Without them, you may not be able to enter the Dharma realm and attain Buddhahood. At the very least, it increases your chances of successfully escaping samsara. Most importantly, if you can truly practice it, you will be able to sever the connection with the 6 realms. Once you no longer take rebirth within the 6 realms, that means you have transcended samsara. That is the key point. You can refer to episode 45 of our compassion series, Shortcut Methods to Enter the Heavenly Realms, or Buddha's Pure Land and the 9 successive stages of meditation. The 4th, which is the main topic of today's teaching, is the 4th introductory teaching of the Dudjom Buddhist Association, International. It is to accumulate virtuous merits that can help you attain Buddhahood, or liberation from samsara, within this very life, or body. That is, through the current body in the present lifetime, you can accomplish one of 2 things, either liberation from samsara, or the attainment of Buddhahood. These virtuous merits must be accumulated, and they are divided into 4 levels. What exactly are these 4 levels? Firstly, let us speak again about what we mentioned earlier. From the very moment one enters the Buddhist path, one must help people to understand renunciation. As I have said, if you wish to learn how to be free from all suffering, you must handle suffering with wisdom, and the oral pith instructions are, do not escape, and do not abide in notions. However, we have not explained the second aspect. You must have determination. Of course, you must have the determination to be free from samsara, otherwise, even if this Dharma is taught to you, you will not truly practice it. But determination alone is not enough. You must also master certain methods of practice that can help you attain Buddhahood, or liberation from samsara, within this very life, or body. Therefore, these methods are essential. They are the second key point in cultivating renunciation. Now, let us first talk about attaining Buddhahood. What elements are necessary to attain Buddhahood? First, you must have bodhicitta, that is, the awareness. And you must train in emptiness, neither existence nor voidness. Without the training of the awareness and emptiness, it is simply impossible to attain Buddhahood. You cannot merely recite Buddha's holy names and hope to continue your cultivation. After reaching the heavenly realms, in the end, you will be disappointed. Why? Because even if you are reborn in the heavens, yes, with good karma and favorable causes, you may reach some lower heavenly realms, isn't that so? If you have great meditational concentration, you may reach the higher heavenly realms. However, even if you reach them, the excessive enjoyment of blessings will quickly exhaust your merits, leaving only negative karma behind, and then you will still fall into the realms of hells, hungry ghosts, or animals. Therefore, it is not a thorough solution. So, what must you learn? You must learn how to develop the awareness. You must study emptiness. Never choose the wrong method when you first begin your Dharma practice, for that would cause you to waste your entire lifetime. If we possess renunciation, but choose the wrong method of practice, thereby preventing ourselves from escaping suffering, that is a grave mistake. Therefore, choosing the correct method is extremely important. Today I will explain more clearly, from an overview perspective, what methods of practice you should choose in order to truly help yourself, and what the consequences are if you choose incorrectly. You will see this in today's teaching. Therefore, from the very beginning of your Dharma practice, do not make the wrong choice. Once you choose incorrectly, it will truly be as the saying goes, when you turn back, 100 years have passed. There is no turning back. Let us take a look. In the previous teaching, we spoke of the lower heavenly realms and the higher heavenly realms. The higher heavenly realms have 4 levels, and within the first level, the first dhyana heaven, there are already 3 subdivisions. This first dhyana heaven is also known as the Brahma heaven. Bodhisattva Nagarjuna said that to enter this state, one must be free from desire. When all desires are gone, much of the content within your 5 aggregates has already been cleared. Once your desires are mostly eliminated and you have meditative concentration, only then can you enter the first dhyana heaven, the Brahma heaven. Naturally, at that point, you would feel proud and exalted in your heart. But Bodhisattva Nagarjuna said, do not be so delighted yet. Even if you reach that realm, you are merely adding more firewood to the flames of your future suffering. When enough fuel has been added over time, you will inevitably fall into the place of the greatest pain. Why is that so? It is because you are too pleased. Having reached such a lofty and blissful state, naturally you will have no motivation to continue your Dharma practice. In such bliss, where would you find the leisure to practice the Dharma further? However, your good karma is constantly being consumed. This is equivalent to continually assisting your own future suffering, creating the causes that will lead you to fall into the hell, hungry ghost, or animal realms. Because there is outflow but no inflow, eventually you must fall. Now then, what method can prevent such a fall? Within these higher heavenly realms, there exists what is called the 4th dhyana heaven, which consists of 9 heavens. The form realm has 18 levels, and the highest 5 of these are called the 5 heavens of no returning. Only by reaching these 5 heavens of no returning can one be freed from samsara. That means that the deities of non-Buddhist religions, those who say, believe in me and you will be saved, can only help their followers reach the 6 desire heavens, which are merely the lower heavenly realms. In the end, one will still fall again. Even if you are reborn in a Buddha's pure land. I am afraid that even Buddha's pure lands have many levels of heavens. If you have not reached the highest 5 levels, then even if you think you have arrived there and have seen Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, who will protect you from falling into the 3 lower realms, you are mistaken. That will not happen. You are also mistaken. What does the entire 3 realms speak of? It speaks of the cause and effect. Even Buddhas and Bodhisattvas must abide by this law of cause and effect. Why? Because they cannot overturn this universal rule. It is the operation of the natural law itself. If you cannot purify your 5 aggregates through your own mind and instead rely solely on the protection of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then once your good karma is exhausted, your bad karma will appear. Even Buddhas and Bodhisattvas cannot help you. Why is that? You may review the earlier episodes in our Compassion series, where it was already explained. Even after attaining Buddhahood, Buddha Shakyamuni still had to endure karmic retribution. His foot was pierced by a golden spear, causing him great pain and even fainting. Have we not already discussed how, even after becoming a Buddha, the Buddha still experienced karmic effects? This means that even Buddhas are bound by the law of cause and effect, how much more so for you? When your good karma is exhausted, they cannot replenish it for you. The greed, hatred, and ignorance within your own mind cannot be cleared away by them. This is something you must accomplish yourself. Thus, in the end, you will still fall and continue the reincarnation. Therefore, do not be overly joyful. Some people, especially those who follow the exoteric teachings, often say that their lifelong aspiration is to be reborn in a Buddha's pure land. Even some who come here to study the Dharma tell me that their only wish in life is to reach a Buddha's pure land. However, what they do not realize is that being reborn in a Buddha's pure land still involves continuing within the cycle of samsara. Only by transcending samsara, only by attaining Buddhahood, that is, entering the state of the Dharma realm, can one truly and eternally be free from rebirth. Not knowing this truth, they spend their entire lives chasing after a destination that has no end and no ultimate result. This misunderstanding arises because, within the exoteric teachings, many preachers promote a view that actually deceives sentient beings. They make people believe that once they reach the Buddha's pure land, they have already succeeded. They say that, when you get there, you can continue to cultivate slowly. This is a mistaken concept. Even if you are reborn in a Buddha's pure land, you may not succeed in cultivation there. In such realms, there is outflow without inflow, meaning that merit is spent, but rarely replenished. Unless you are a Dharma practitioner of very high realization, most people will merely continue indulging in bliss there. Therefore, one must be cautious. When your store of good karma is exhausted, you will still fall into the 3 lower realms, even from a Buddha's pure land. Ultimately, it depends on whether you have genuinely practiced the Dharma. Let us take a look now. We are truly fortunate in this life to encounter teachings that show us the way to be liberated from samsara and to attain Buddhahood. Therefore, we must cherish this opportunity, study earnestly, and engage in genuine practical training. Do not simply focus on chanting Buddha's holy names or reciting mantras as your only practice, while neglecting all other aspects of cultivation. If you do so lazily and carelessly, you are in fact harming yourself. Now let us examine what kinds of practice can truly help you be freed from samsara. Any genuine method of Dharma practice must at least include 3 key elements. First, the cultivation of emptiness. Within this, one must at minimum attain the emptiness of the self of the person. What are the emptiness on the self of the person and the emptiness on the self of the Dharma? You can review the Dudjom Buddhist Association, International's video titled The Essence of Emptiness, the Classification of Buddhist Practice, which explains this in detail. Secondly, you must have meditational concentration, at least the level of concentration corresponding to the highest 5 heavens within the 4th dhyana. Thirdly, you must understand how to eliminate greed, hatred, and ignorance. If you wish to attain Buddhahood, you must at least possess the following. First, emptiness, specifically the state of neither existence nor voidness. Second, the meditational concentration that allows entry into the highest 5 heavens of the 4th dhyana. Third, the ability to remove greed, hatred, and ignorance, reaching the state where all 5 aggregates are empty. If you wish to attain Buddhahood in this very life, or through this very body, what elements must you possess? First, you must understand the principle of emptiness, neither existence nor voidness. Second, your meditational concentration must reach the highest realm of the 4th dhyana heaven. What is the highest of these realms? It is the Akanistha heaven, the ultimate form heaven, not merely the 5 heavens of no returning. You must reach the very highest level. Third, you must eliminate greed, hatred, and ignorance, realizing the state where the 5 aggregates are all empty. You may notice that the elements required for Buddhahood and for Buddhahood in the present lifetime are the same. That is correct. They are identical. However, the difference lies in the approach. The exoteric teachings rely primarily on theoretical understanding, requiring 3 great asamkhya kalpa, immeasurable eons, to achieve Buddhahood. However, to attain Buddhahood in this present lifetime, you must integrate both theory and practice, and your cultivation must include 2 essential components, the awareness and visualizations. Without these, you cannot succeed swiftly. Why does the exoteric path require 3 great asamkhya kalpa to reach Buddhahood? Simply because it lacks the method of visualization. The esoteric teachings of attaining Buddhahood in this very life include it and therefore can succeed. Let us now look at this diagram. In the Mahayana path of cultivation, how can one progress swiftly from the very first step to the final stage, attaining Buddhahood in this very life? The key lies in these 2 elements, the awareness and visualizations. If your Dharma practice lacks either of these, you can be certain it will not succeed. One must learn to transform the mind into wisdom, train to develop the 5 wisdoms, and make the cultivation of the awareness as the main direction of Dharma practice. Now, let us focus on this fundamental yet crucial part. Many Dharma practitioners fail precisely because they lose their footing here. This is the main focus of today's discussion. We have already discussed the 10 beliefs, which you now understand. But beyond that, there is also path of accumulation on the spiritual prerequisite of meritorious virtues, the Sambhara, which includes the stages of the 10 abodes, the 10 types of practices, and the 10 dedication of merits. Under ordinary conditions, completing these stages would take at least 10,000 kalpa, merely to subdue the coarse afflictions. So how can one complete this without taking 10,000 kalpa? The 10 beliefs alone already require that much time. If you include the 10 abodes, the 10 types of practices, and the 10 dedication of merits, the duration becomes immeasurable, perhaps hundreds of thousands of kalpa. So how could one possibly achieve Buddhahood in this very life? It is possible, provided one follows the complete system of mind training and Dharma practice. What is this method of mind training and Dharma practice? It includes the mind training procedure, the 2 oral pith instructions from the Diamond Sutra. First, do not abide in notions, and second, do not abide anywhere in order to arouse one's awareness. Together with the cultivation of the 5 wisdoms and the development of emptiness, neither existence nor voidness. This allows one to attain Buddhahood without spending countless time achieving Buddhahood in this very life. For detailed explanation, you may refer to the Dudjom Buddhist Association, International, video, The Classification of Buddhist Practices, The Essence of Emptiness. If you follow the complete mind training and Dharma practice that we are now teaching, it will help you to elevate your awareness and to practice while being directly connected with the awareness. This means you are cultivating in connection with the ultimate result, Buddhahood itself. If you can accomplish these 4 aspects, 4 corresponding attainments will appear. How can you verify that you have developed them? The first is the mind of deep-seated confidence. Your confidence becomes unshakable and unwavering. Even if non-Buddhist teachings boast about their greatness, or some people distort the Dharma, none of these can shake your confidence in the Dharma. That is called the mind of deep-seated confidence. You have attained it. Next is mind of tranquil abiding. You are able to remain stably abiding, unmoving and irreversible. Not only do you remain settled, but you also put your understanding into actual practice. You truly engage in cultivation, not merely talking about it, and you naturally share your realizations with others. When you reach this stage, you have already subdued the coarse afflictions. However, subtler afflictions still remain unvanquished. You must understand that within the 5 aggregates, there are subtle forms of greed, hatred, and ignorance, defilements that have yet to be fully eliminated. You have dealt with the coarse aspects of greed, hatred, and ignorance within the 5 aggregates, but the subtle ones remain. Therefore, you must also practice the 4 preliminary practices. This path of joining, engagement, consists of 4 levels: warmth, summit, acceptance, and supreme attribute, has already been explained in the classification of Buddhist practices, The Essence of Emptiness. Therefore, I will not elaborate here. What I refer to now as the 4 preliminary practices are those in esoteric Buddhism. Let's take a closer look. To successfully complete these 4 preliminary practices, they must be practiced together with both visualization and the awareness. However, the problem today is that most esoteric Buddhist practitioners pay no attention to mind training or the development of the awareness. Many do not even know what the awareness truly is. They focus only on visualizations, which inevitably leads to failure. Without the core, they are bound to fail. Having only the external form or surface methods will definitely result in failure. Even if you study the 4 preliminary practices, but do not integrate them with the full mind training and Dharma practice that I teach, that is, if you do not practice while being connected with the result of the awareness, you will never achieve Buddhahood in this very life. Your progress will be extremely slow. So, what exactly are the 4 preliminary practices? The term path of joining was formerly translated as means, or skillful methods, also called the yoga of preliminary practices. Yoga means correspondence, implying that these practices are methods that enable one to achieve correspondence with the ultimate success in Dharma practice in the future. Simply put, it means adding functions or supportive practices to help you later enter formal cultivation. In other words, it is a preparatory stage for the main practice, the groundwork before formal cultivation begins. You might ask, the 4 preliminary practices are just preparatory work. Isn't that kind of low level? That depends on how you teach it, how you practice it, and how you train in it. If you follow the common versions of the 4 preliminary practices that are taught in many esoteric Buddhist centers, then yes, they are quite poor. Those versions are ineffective and completely unqualified, or off the path. Therefore, the key question is, which type of 4 preliminary practices are you cultivating? Let's take a look. Why are there different types of 4 preliminary practices? The first is the common 4 preliminary practices, which are designed to purify all karmic obstacles. This is called purification of karma. What are these common 4 preliminary practices? They are the same foundational contents that are shared with the exoteric teachings. That is why they are called the common 4 preliminary practices. In esoteric Buddhism, however, there is the perfect accumulation of 2 meritorious resources, which is called the uncommon 4 preliminary practices. These are unique to the esoteric Buddhism, not shared with the exoteric Buddhism, hence the name the uncommon 4 preliminary practice. For detailed explanations, please refer to our YouTube teachings, The Importance of the 4 Preliminary Practices, and Common and Uncommon 4 Preliminary Practices. I will not go into detail here. The 4 preliminary practices include the preciousness of 10 endowments, that is, the 8 non-conducive factors and the 10 endowments, which I have taught before. Visualizing impermanence, reflecting on the suffering of cyclic existence, and understanding the good karma and evil karma. These are called the 4 contemplations. They are not just thoughts to ponder, but visualizations to be integrated into daily life through continuous reflection. Have my disciples actually done these practices? I do not know. I have certainly instructed them to, but whether they have paid attention, I truly have no idea. If, in the future, their cultivation fails, do not ask me why. You will soon hear the reason. These practices must be combined with proper visualizations, otherwise, your Dharma practice will likely fail. What is the perfect accumulation of 2 meritorious resources? It refers to the complete accumulation of 2 essential merits, the resources of blessed fortunes and the resources of wisdom. Both must be cultivated to full completion, 100%. Now, suppose many Dharma practitioners claim that they have already done these 4 preliminary practices long ago, saying they have completed them perfectly, boasting about it proudly. Is that really so? Yet in the end, their cultivation fails. Why does it fail? Where exactly is the key issue? Let me tell you a case recorded in different aspects of the Sutras and Vinaya, Volume 37, the case of the faithful believer at the time of death. 7. You must look at this case with the eyes of a dragon and a tiger, with full attention and discernment. I can assure you that this story concerns you. And truly, 99% of people will find themselves reflected in it, sharing a similar fate. Let's begin. Long ago, there was a Upasaka. What is an Upasaka? A male lay Buddhist practitioner is called an Upasaka, while a female one is called an Upasaka. This particular Upasaka was truly diligent in his cultivation. He observed the precepts strictly and practiced the Dharma earnestly, without the slightest trace of carelessness or laziness. Wow, such a Dharma practitioner already surpasses many of my own disciples, and indeed surpasses most so-called practitioners today. Nowadays, whether in esoteric or exoteric Buddhism, many practitioners are casual and careless. They disregard the precepts entirely. For them, moral discipline does not even exist, and as for karma, they simply do not believe in it. They think that by chanting the 100-syllable mantra, reciting a few mantras, and visualizing a deity with 3 heads and 6 arms, they become powerful and fearless. Let me tell you. Look carefully at this case. I do not think any of you are so great that you can ignore the law of cause and effect. To reach the point of disbelieving in karma is truly dangerous. This Upasaka was indeed an excellent practitioner. But what was his final outcome? Let's find out. One day, this Upasaka fell seriously ill, and all the doctors were helpless. It was a terminal illness, beyond cure. This shows how inconceivable the power of karma truly is. Many people might say, I've worshipped countless Buddhas, recited so many mantras and Buddha's holy names, performed many rituals, received numerous empowerments, made offerings to many gurus and practitioners. So why am I still seriously ill? Why can no doctor save me? Does this mean Buddhism is useless? If you ask in that way, it shows you do not understand the Dharma. One who truly understands the Dharma would never ask such a question. Why not? Because it has long been said, karma is inconceivable. The entire three realms operate under this law of cause and effect, even the Buddha himself cannot defy it. So how could you escape it by worshipping more Buddhas, or chanting more mantras? If even the Buddha cannot transcend karma, how could you possibly avoid it? Thinking that way is simply foolish, isn't it? It means that you do not yet understand the Dharma at all. Let's take a look. Seeing that this Upasaka was hanging by a thread, his wife, overwhelmed with grief, tearfully said, "We've been husband and wife for many years, always in harmony. Now you are tormented by illness and at death's door, and I can only watch helplessly as you suffer, unable to share or lessen your pain. If you truly leave us, my son and I will be left lonely and helpless, with no one to rely on. How can we go on living? I no longer wish to live either." Hearing this, the Upasaka felt as if his heart were being cut by a knife. His attachment deepened, emotions of love and unwillingness to part arose spontaneously. He truly could not let go. Facing this separation of life and death, he was deeply tormented, yet knowing his life was ending, he could do nothing. Because his emotional attachment to his wife was excessively strong, after his death his mind attached itself to his wife's nose and transformed into a small insect. He became a small worm. You might object, how could this be? He practiced the Dharma for so long, how could he become a worm? This is simply the operation of the law of cause and effect. You might further ask, he clearly created many virtuous causes, kept precepts strictly, practiced the Dharma diligently, such a good person. Shouldn't he be reborn in the heavenly realm? Why did he become a worm? Let's continue and see how the sutra explains this. It turns out that after her husband passed away, the wife burst into uncontrollable tears. Why did this Upasaka end up in such a tragic situation? The key lies in this sentence: we have been husband and wife for many years, always in harmony. The destructive power of this one sentence is enormous. When a dying person's closest loved one says such words, "We've always been so good together," it triggers a kind of recollection, instantly evoking an endless flood of emotional memories. He would begin to recall everything, from their first meeting, secret affection, first love, passion, marriage, the birth of children, banquets, all those past events surge forth. At that moment, he falls into abiding in notions. I call this the emotional illness of abiding in notions, a pathological state arising from attachment to mental forms and emotions. And since it is an illness, death is inevitable. What kind of death? Becoming a worm. Doesn't that count as death? What does abiding in notions mean? It means dwelling within those emotions, being trapped in that feeling of unwillingness to let go. It is an endless tangle of emotions, love and attachment accumulated since birth, all arising together. This situation is, in fact, a common reaction that almost all families display when someone is dying. What does it express? Sorrow, helplessness, and the pain of unwillingness to part. However, such expressions inevitably cause the dying person to feel exactly the same emotions: sorrow, helplessness, and the pain of unwillingness to part. Now, this Upasaka was in precisely such a state. Why does this happen? It is because of a point of love that leads to abiding in notions. What is meant by a point of love? Is love itself a sin? In our present Soha world, everything revolves around love, intense, obsessive love. The deeper the love, the more it is praised. It becomes the subject of romance novels that glorify the man or woman who loves so deeply that they are willing to sacrifice everything, even erecting a symbolic archway of love to commemorate such passion. Right? Such deep affection. Yet, in doing so, one falls into abiding in notions. So, is this kind of love sinful or not? In fact, love itself is not sinful. However, when you cling to a single point of love, it creates karmic effects, and that becomes dangerous. Why? Because this is simply how the natural law operates. When you lose your physical body, at the moment of death, your mind is still attached to the body. At the time when your life is hanging by a thread, that thread is the final link between mind and the body. If that thread remains unbroken, your body still holds a certain energy, or meditational concentration, that anchors your mind, preventing it from drifting away, meaning you will not immediately take rebirth. This is the function of meditational concentration. But what causes that single remaining thread to snap, making your mind drift and immediately take rebirth? It is the emotion. When, at the moment of death, your emotions are stirred and you focus all your love upon a single point, you experience a love that cannot reach its object, a pain filled with helplessness. This powerful emotional turmoil severs the final thread. Once it breaks, your mind remains only with the negative aspect of the virtuous, evil karmic portfolio. Because in that moment your emotion is a state of evil karma, it connects with the negative causes you have previously created. When these negative causes are activated, they bring about corresponding results, and your mind follows them to take rebirth. There is another factor, the one point to which you are attached. Whom do you cling to? It is your wife. There is another factor. It is the point to which you are now attached. Is it your wife? When you cling to an object, your mind will incline towards that place. You wish to embrace your wife. You wish to be born there, or to be born there. Because you wish to embrace her with your whole body, you will attempt to be born upon her body, will you not? Thus, where will the floating point of your mind connect? It will certainly link with the point that you hold most firmly in mind. Now the one you hold most firmly in mind is your wife. Yet you must not forget that you cannot become your wife. You are not a ghost. You cannot possess her. You cannot attach yourself to her body, for you have only just departed and have only just died. If you truly fall into the realm of ghosts, you may indeed cling to your wife day and night, causing her to appear as if possessed. This situation is not strange at all. It is also possible that your wife's positive energy becomes weaker, and her negative energy grows stronger because of this. Now, the problem is that he has just died, just taken his last breath, and has not yet entered the ghost realm. He is now in the intermediate state of bardo. When one stops breathing, the mind immediately seeks something to attach to. Having lost the current physical body, it will look for another form of matter to attach to. Where will it attach itself to? It will attach according to what the mind most desires to cling to. Where do you most wish to go? Whom do you most long for? At that moment, if your heart is filled with yearning for your wife and the wish to embrace her, your mind will adhere to her. What does it mean to be fixed on a single point of love? It means that you only love one person, or a small group of people. You love only your family, your community, your race, or you love human beings, but not animals. In this way, your love becomes limited. Some may say, no, nowadays we talk about great love. But even great love is not acceptable. Why? Because even the greatest love has its limits. It still has boundaries. Even if you love all beings on earth, what about those beyond the earth? Do you not love them? Therefore, we do not use the word love. The state we call love is merely an entangling force within the mundane world, or the three realms. Thus, we do not use the term love, instead, we use compassion. When we speak of compassion, it means that it must be universal and unconditional, extended to all beings of all races, nations, and realms. In other words, it is boundless. In terms of time, it makes no distinction between past, present, and future. It is timeless. Why? Because you cannot love only your current family, and not those of the past. You cannot love only your present parents, and not your parents from previous lives. That is not allowed. If you do this, it is called being fixed upon a point, or limited circle of love. This is called abiding in notions. So, what does it mean to be not abiding in notions? There are several conditions. First, there must be no limitation of time, no distinction between present, past, and future. It is beyond time. Second, there must be no limitation of space. What does that mean? It means you do not love only those in your family, or only those in your Dharma association, or only the sentient beings of Hong Kong, or only those of China, or any particular country. So, what should we do? No matter your race or origin, even if you are from outer space, whether extraterrestrial or human, we must love all beings, all sentient entities, including plants, and not only animals. In fact, objects too may contain sentient essence. If you cultivate to a high level, you will perceive that all things, even objects, are sentient. Whether in the world of material form, or the world of sentient beings, compassion must pervade all. However, that kind of compassion alone is not enough. Why? Because you must elevate it to what is called bodhicitta, which includes the awareness. Therefore, the third condition is the awareness. This means that you must not only have compassion, but also bodhicitta, which is the awareness itself. You must possess this awareness. It is not a state of blind emotion, you understand. If love fulfills these three conditions, it is called infinite. We do not call it love. What do we call it? Infinite awareness. Why? Because when we wish to transcend samsara, or attain Buddhahood, we must enter the Dharma realm. Do you remember its characteristics? The Dharma realm is beyond time, beyond space, and infinite. It has no past, present, or future, as you can see from the Heart Sutra. However, the Heart Sutra has a small omission. Because it was condensed from the great Prajnaparamita Sutra, the compiler did not include certain crucial teachings. Thus, it lacks mention of the awareness. So, when you read through the Heart Sutra, you will find no mention of the word awareness. This has caused a deviation. Sentient beings fail to realize that enlightenment requires the awareness. I believe this is a gap, or omission in the Heart Sutra. Therefore, if you wish to attain Buddhahood, you must possess three characteristics: beyond time, beyond space, and with the awareness. Only then can you enter the Dharma realm. You must begin cultivating this state even in daily life. Therefore, you must not abide in notions. You must not abide anywhere in order to arouse the awareness. Do not abide at a point. Everything must be boundless, free from spatial and temporal limitation, and with the awareness. The awareness in arouse the awareness refers to the intrinsic awareness. Without abiding anywhere, and arouse the awareness, that is why the Diamond Sutra is so profound. If we are to talk about the Diamond Sutra, why do I focus on it? Because the Heart Sutra is a condensed version, limited in scope, and it only describes the state of the Dharma realm. However, I am not trying to discuss the state of the Dharma realm with you now. I want to teach you how to integrate Dharma practice into daily life, and to find key methods that will help you succeed in cultivation, so that you may attain Buddhahood, or be liberated from samsara. Therefore, my focus must be on the Diamond Sutra. What the Diamond Sutra teaches are the oral pith instructions, ways to integrate Dharma practice into everyday life. That is why, even now, I have not finished teaching it. This means that you will not abide in notions of all your emotions with the awareness. What is the difference between emotions with the awareness and ordinary emotions? Ordinary emotions are bound by attachment. Emotions with the awareness must be connected to the essence of the Dharma, the emptiness of the five aggregates free from greed, hatred, and ignorance. Only then can they be considered connected to the Dharma. Such emotions allow you to not abide in notions. In short, what does not abiding in notions mean? It means being linked with three characteristics: beyond time, beyond space, and with the awareness. Anything that is confined to a specific point or period and lacks the awareness is called abiding in notions. What happens when one abides in notions? One falls into the three lower realms. It is that simple. That is why the Diamond Sutra is so important. It states, do not fall into the three lower realms. Once you abide in notions, you will certainly fall. Once you abide in notions, you will inevitably enter samsara. This is unavoidable. Now, let us look at this. This sentence is the most destructive one. She said, If you really go, you'll leave me and our son alone in misery. How will we live on? Recently, I happened to have a case where the younger brother of one of my disciples passed away. He told me that his sister-in-law was in unbearable pain. Upon hearing the news at the hospital, she banged her head against the wall, cried incessantly, hit herself and the wall repeatedly. What are the consequences of this? When the deceased sees such behavior, he would feel intense sorrow. This triggers powerful emotional reactions within him, all of which are painful. These painful emotions activate the negative karmic causes within his virtuous, evil karmic portfolio, leading them to generate results. If the deceased is deeply attached to his wife, he may become a living being within her body. If he is obsessed with an object, he will attach to it and become a creature related to it. It is that simple. He will immediately reincarnate, skipping the intermediate state of bardo. Why? Because overly intense emotional reactions can cause you to skip the intermediate state of bardo. Having a bardo body gives you a buffer. It allows some reasoning to arise, perhaps even remembering to practice the Dharma, reminding you not to be overwhelmed by emotions. But if you skip the bardo state, you truly cannot be saved, not even by the Buddha. When you are in the bardo, there is at least a chance to help you, to try to awaken your awareness, so that you can save yourself. If the bardo state is skipped, as in the case of this Upasaka, he went directly into rebirth as a worm, completely beyond rescue. Therefore, if you have relatives who are near death, and you understand the Dharma, do not say harmful words before them, words that arouse attachment, longing, or feelings of guilt. The worst thing is when you stir up their sense of guilt thinking, I'm so sorry. My wife and child are still young. I'm dying and can do nothing to help them. I'm truly sorry. If he dies carrying this guilt in his heart, it is as if he had accumulated great negative karma and trouble is inevitable. That is exactly what happened in this case. So now, I must tell you how to avoid such a fate. No matter how much you love your relative, when the time of death comes, say words that will help him, not words that stir his emotions. Otherwise, you could cause his downfall. After hearing this, the Upasaka felt as if his heart were being cut apart. He could not bear it. This shows how effective his wife's words were. They deepened his mental agony and intensified his attachment and infatuation. When one is overly infatuated, and the mind clings too strongly at death, what happens? It triggers an immediate rebirth, skipping the intermediate state of bardo. What happens when the bardo is skipped? The natural law takes immediate effect. It acts according to your mind's desire. To let you embrace your wife again, it helps you connect to certain physical matter. What kind of matter can you connect with? Depending on your virtuous evil karmic portfolio, you might become a worm, and so you do. All this is the natural process. There is no judge determining your fate. It is all created by your own mind. No judge condemns you to become a worm, no one orders you to be reborn that way. It is entirely because you cling to your wife. Your attachment is too deep, and this is the only way you can remain near her, right? Your mind wants to attach itself, and to do so, it must connect with some physical matter. Otherwise, there would be nothing to cling to. Thus, you become a worm. This is not something any religion can prevent. Believing in a particular religion does not mean you will not become a worm. Thinking that another faith would make you superior, there is no such thing. This is simply the law of nature, isn't it? In other words, when you fall ill, you fall ill. It is because you were infected by a virus. There is a cause. Whether you believe in any religion or not, a virus will infect you just the same. No religion can prevent the infection. Do you understand? This is the working of the natural law, right? So, you cannot say that the Buddhas or Bodhisattvas will care for you. I am afraid that they cannot help you in this matter. In other matters, perhaps they can, but not in this one. This is something that depends on you yourself, and on the one who teaches you the Dharma. It must be explained in full detail, as I am doing now, for it to truly save you. I have already taught you how to save yourself. Everyone will die. You will surely die. Remember this, death is certain. Especially now, when impermanence is so evident. Viruses are floating everywhere, and death can come even more easily. So, what should you do? Please, practice the Dharma diligently. If you do not cultivate and merely think, I've worshipped many Buddhas, chanted countless Buddhas' holy names and mantras, surely that will help me. Well, to some extent, it may. But the difference is vast. Your mind governs everything, and once the moment comes, it will be too late to save yourself. Remember that. This Upasaka was to be buried. During the funeral, his wife continued to cry bitterly. At that moment, there happened to be a monk who had attained the fruit. What does attained the fruit mean? You must know that within the Hinayana, there are 4 stages of fruition, though it is not specified here which stage he attained. Fruition here refers to the level of spiritual accomplishment. In short, this bhikkhu, a monk, a renunciant, possessed supernatural powers. At his level, he could perceive that this Upasaka had upheld the precepts, practiced the Dharma diligently, and never slacked off. By the strength of his good karma, he should have been reborn in the heavenly realm to enjoy bliss. But why did he, at the moment of death, give rise to a single thought of love? In Buddhism, what we call love usually carries the defilements of greed, hatred and ignorance. Thus, even so-called great love is not truly good. What do we call the pure form of it instead? Compassion. We do not call it love. When it is called love, it implies the presence of greed, hatred and ignorance. Whether it is great love or small love, both contain these defilements, and they can cause one to fall into the animal realm. When the monk saw that he had fallen into that realm, specifically, attached to a worm within the woman's nose, he wished to rescue him. He then stepped forward to comfort the woman, advising her not to be so sorrowful. Unexpectedly, his attempt failed. He had intended to stop the woman from further agitating the cultivator's mind. Although he had now become a worm, worms live very short lives. If she kept stimulating him, clinging to him with attachment, then when this worm died and his mind once again longed to embrace his wife, he might not take birth as a worm again. Instead, he might sink even lower, to the realm of hungry ghosts, or even hells. The monk feared that if this continued, he would fall further down into the realm of hells to suffer greatly. Such a good Dharma practitioner descending into hell would truly be miserable. Therefore, he sought to stop her. Would you not agree? But upon seeing the monk, the woman cried even harder. Why did she become even more distraught? Perhaps she thought, what's the point of cultivation? My husband also practiced the Dharma. Aren't you, a monk, still subject to death? Can you really save him? She wept even more bitterly. Perhaps had she not seen him, she might not have cried so desperately. But seeing him only deepened her grief. Or maybe she thought pitifully, can a monk even help? Who knows what went through her mind at that moment? In any case, the more he tried to comfort her, the harder she cried. This was not good. What could be done? She cried so violently that mucus flowed from her nose, and with it came the worm, falling to the ground. Perhaps the worm had grown quite large, plump, nourished within her body, so when she saw it in her own mucus, she found it disgusting and felt embarrassed. She raised her foot, intending to crush the worm to death. This is the suffering of samsara. No matter how deep your attachment, how profound your love, once you depart from your body, once you die you take on another form. You can say you truly transform into a shape-shifted being, a worm. You change into another form, such that even the one who loves you most cannot recognize you anymore. So, what use is your love? What use is your clinging? It is impossible to reunite as you were before. Even if you meet again, you will not recognize each other. You may even feel mutual aversion, perhaps even hatred, or the wish to kill. A moment ago, she loved him deeply, could not bear his death. Now, she wants him dead. She lifts her foot to crush him. This is the pain of samsara, it is this cruel. Such is the law of nature, mercilessly cruel. Therefore, you must find a way to escape from samsara. Do not think that because you cultivate and love your family deeply, you will surely reunite with them in the future. Yes, you may reunite. But in what form? Look, They are together now, aren't they? Together, yet she wants to kill him. At once, the monk stopped her, saying, "Wait. Please don't crush that worm. It is your husband, the manifestation of your husband." The woman, hearing this, responded in disbelief, "No way. You must be mistaken. What? That worm on the ground is my husband. He practiced the Dharma so diligently, observed the precepts, meditated for hours daily, worked hard and sincerely. And you're telling me he's become a worm? Are you mocking me, or trying to provoke me?" In other words, she was, of course, full of doubt. If her temper had been worse, she might have scolded him outright, right? In fact, I can tell you all Dharma practitioners tend to think their cultivation is good, that they have accumulated merit, yet they overlook and underestimate the workings of natural law. As a result, their Dharma practice fails. This Upasaka failed for that very reason. Perhaps he never heard this kind of teaching we are discussing today. So, he did not realize how serious this could be. In fact, in the third, fourth and fifth episodes of our Compassion series, we already explained the phenomena that appear at the time of death, and what must be carefully attended to. The bhikkhu replied, "Because your husband, at the moment of death, could not let go of his attachment and excessive infatuation toward you, he was therefore reborn as an insect." In order to save the small insect, the bhikkhu, seeing that he could not communicate with the Upasaka's wife, decided to speak directly to the Upasaka himself. Since he had learned the Dharma, perhaps a few words would awaken his awareness. So, the bhikkhu said to the insect, "You had been so diligent in your cultivation, upholding the precepts with great virtue. Do you know that you originally could have been reborn in the heavenly realm and be able to see the Buddhas? That means you should have been reborn in a Buddha's pure land and be able to see the Buddhas. But because at the time of death you gave rise to a single thought of attachment, just a single thought of affection, you became overly infatuated and thus fell into the three lower realms, specifically, the realm of animals. And most importantly, the bhikkhu added, you will continue to suffer in the future. Meaning, if you continue to sink further, you will keep on experiencing suffering. Please awaken." This sentence truly awakened him. Hey! You will continue to sink even deeper. Because when we become attached or infatuated with something, and if our mind remains unchanged, this becomes the greatest trap and inducement leading us into the three lower realms. It intensifies more and more, ending in an even more tragic outcome, especially in those love affairs filled with obsessive attachment and desire to live and die for love. Those who read too many romantic novels will have problems. Those who listen to too many love songs and become obsessed with romantic emotions or sentimental attachment will also be greatly influenced. If you listen to Dharma songs, mantra melodies, and chants of Buddha's holy names, they will give rise to the awareness within you. Isn't this precisely the benefit of reciting Buddha's holy names and mantras? But if you listen to too many love songs, those filled with infatuation, you truly increase your danger, especially at the moment of death. Now that you understand the faults of attachment, you must feel ashamed and sincerely repent. The bhikkhu thus said to the insect, "You must repent." Do you realize how serious this is? To love with such intensity, do you know how grave the consequences are? You must repent, so that you may soon be reborn in the virtuous paths, and escape the future retributions of suffering. If you delay, you will continue to undergo karmic retribution. You must act quickly. The bhikkhu urged him to cultivate diligently and to repent sincerely. This was the method for liberation that the bhikkhu revealed to him. After hearing this, the little insect immediately opened his mind and understood, thinking, "How foolish I have been. I truly fell into the trap." Then he immediately made a profound act of repentance. Not long after, he gave up his body, meaning the insect died, and was reborn in the heavenly realm. Remember, I mentioned earlier that there are 4 contemplations. Let us now look at them. Earlier, we spoke about a past Upasaka, who was strict in observing the precepts and diligent in cultivation. In fact, this corresponds to one of the 4 contemplations, preciousness of the 10 endowments. You may think, yes, that is quite right. This Upasaka acted correctly during his lifetime. He deeply cherished and recognized that 10 endowments were difficult to obtain, and that hearing the Dharma was rare. Therefore, he valued it greatly, cultivated earnestly, and practiced the Dharma diligently. Because of his appreciation and gratitude, he was able to receive these teachings. Thus, when the bhikkhu gave him a single reminder, he immediately awakened. If he had not learned the teachings in a previous life, no amount of reminders could have awakened him, just like his wife, who could not awaken no matter how much she was advised. In our Dharma practice now, should we, like this Upasaka, recognize the preciousness of 10 endowments? Yes, we should. This Upasaka only understood that 10 endowments were difficult to obtain while alive, but did not realize that they were also difficult to obtain after death. Thus, he collided with a great obstacle. Therefore, all of you must understand that the 10 endowments are difficult to obtain both in life and in death. This means that, at the time of death, you should be even more vigilant. 10 endowments are truly hard to attain. Please cherish them and practice the Dharma immediately. At the moment of your final breath, there will be very little time left for you to grasp. Will you still not seize it? The leisure at the time of death is extremely limited. Will you not fulfill that endowment and practice the Dharma immediately? You will certainly die, will you not? Therefore, the preciousness of 10 endowments at death is even more important than while living. You must remember this. We have mentioned that he fell seriously ill. Whenever one is sick, remember to visualize the impermanence. Now that a virus like Omicron has emerged, causing great trouble and affecting the whole world, you should immediately bring to mind the concept of impermanence. What does that mean? When you contemplate impermanence, of course it means you must immediately strive to cultivate diligently. Do not merely think about Omicron, feeling fear and panic. It is not about clinging to those emotions. It means that because all is impermanent, I must cultivate diligently, so that I can connect with and develop my awareness. It is the awareness you must develop, understand. Therefore, we should remember to rely on Dharma practice to help ourselves break free from the trap. Remember, this is an essential teaching. The Upasaka's wife spoke a few words to him, it was a kind of reminiscence. Remember this, the past should not become an obstacle to the future. Keep this in mind. No matter how much your wife or loved ones speak to you about love, recalling how you once courted her, or how you knelt down to propose, how it was raining that day and how romantic it was, no matter how much they recall, it is of no use. Remember this, the past is the past, and past events should never become obstacles for our future. What matters most is the present moment. Where should you focus your attention? Place it in a state of clarity that the 5 aggregates are all empty. Have no greed, hatred, or ignorance. You must immediately visualize the impermanence. Everything is impermanent. Your wife may say that she loves you deeply at one moment, but in the next, she may wish to kill you. I am not speaking of life before death. I mean after death, when she no longer recognizes you. If you have become an insect, she may kill you. Therefore, we must let go of present attachments and focus entirely on the methods of liberation. Then she might say, "You've wronged me. How can you just leave like this? What will become of me and our son? I don't even want to live anymore." When faced with such words, you must understand one principle to discern evil and virtuous karma. When your wife says, "You're leaving like this, what will happen to me and our son? How tragic." You must then understand that all sentient beings, including your wife and children, each have their own karma. You must not be attached. Her karmic consequences are not caused by you. It is not you who caused her to be left alone, to become a single parent. It may seem as though you caused her suffering, but according to the law of karma, it is not your doing. She already had this karmic result to bear. It was not your fault. Therefore, you must discern evil and virtuous karma. What is karma? It is cause and effect. You must not continue to cling emotionally. If you become entangled, thinking, "I can't bear to leave them. I must find a way to help them, even as a ghost, I'll protect them both." Then, in the end, you will not become a ghost, but what? You become an insect. How does that help them at all? Fear the suffering of samsara. You must realize how painful the cycle of rebirth truly is. It is not under your control. No matter how deeply attached you are, you cannot avoid death nor continue to help her. Therefore, you must first free yourself from bondage before you can offer help. It is better to attain Buddhahood first. Once you have become a Buddha, you can return to save her. When you have great power, you will surely be able to rescue her. In your current state, when you cannot even save yourself, would you still rush into the burning house? Remember to fear the suffering of samsara. That means you must dread the terrifying fire of cyclic existence. Once entered, there is no way out. All who enter are certain to perish. Therefore, you should seek a way to escape from samsara, to break free from the sea of flames, not to leap into it. Do you understand? To jump into the fire is certain death. Thus, you must truly fear the suffering of samsara. This Dharma practitioner failed to cultivate the 4 common preliminary practices thorough. He did not cultivate them thoroughly nor engage in deep visualization. Perhaps he merely recited the Buddha's holy names or listened to the Dharma casually. Even though he cultivated other aspects well, in the end he did not apply them. At the time of his death, he failed to make use of all 4, and thus met a tragic outcome. In other words, he had missed the essentials. As you know, when Omicron first appeared, it had already spread abroad for some time, hadn't it? At that time, I immediately used the entire 3-day Christmas holiday for Dharma propagation. I instructed all disciples to return to the Buddhist center, where I personally taught them the Dharma. Some key instructions I had not spoken of before, I began to share them in greater detail, explaining their meanings thoroughly. I did this because I understood impermanence. If I had 3 days free, I must cherish them to help my disciples. I had just finished teaching the 4 common preliminary practices, including their methods of visualization. When I finished, one of my disciples amusingly said to me, "Guru, I've heard you explain this several times already." Because part of my teaching was shown through recorded videos, clear evidence that I had indeed taught it, there was no way to deny it. Upon re-watching the video, he said, "Guru, I realized that even after listening several times, I still missed something." What did he miss? In other words, he had overlooked some essential points. He said, "I still left something out." Even within the 4 common preliminary practices, there can still be omissions, which means the cultivation is not thorough. What are the consequences of insufficient cultivation? They are just like the results seen in this case, extremely serious. Do not think this is a trivial matter, it is very serious indeed. Therefore, at all times one must visualize impermanence. I constantly visualize it myself. That is why I say my life is difficult. Originally, with 3 days of holiday, I should have taken a proper rest, right? At least to sleep well, to relax a bit, shouldn't I? To not be so exhausted. Because every day I must face the computer for more than 10 hours, constantly working and preparing many materials for you all, so that I can teach you the Dharma. It is truly very exhausting. In fact, during those 3 days of holiday, I was even more tired, because every day I went to the Buddhist center and taught my disciples. It was indeed very exhausting. But why did I still do it despite the hardship? Because of impermanence. I visualize impermanence. I thought to myself, everything is impermanent. If I don't make use of these 3 days now, how can I know whether I will ever have the chance to teach again in the future? Unexpectedly, just a few days after teaching, I was no longer allowed to hold such gatherings. Face-to-face teaching was no longer possible. In fact, in order to teach them, I had specially built a glass room. Sitting inside it without wearing a mask, I could directly teach the Dharma face-to-face. That glass room was meant to assist me. Yet in the end, it still was not allowed. I had to switch to live broadcast. However, certain teachings must be transmitted face-to-face. Live broadcast cannot replace direct oral instructions. Some key instructions cannot be spoken openly. So, you can see how truly impermanent everything is. Some disciples who were qualified to study did not come to learn. You can imagine how little they cherished the opportunity. Now, even if they wish to learn, they cannot. You must be careful. Therefore, we must remember not to waste our energy worrying about what cannot be controlled, but instead strive for what can be controlled. What does it mean not to concern yourself with uncontrollable things? What are uncontrollable things? All mundane worldly matters, they are what keep you reincarnating. Everything within the three realms are things that keep you trapped in rebirth. Therefore, please do not cling to them. They are beyond your control. And what are controllable things? Cultivation. What you can control now is your own Dharma practice. This is what can help you break free from the fooling forces of reincarnation. It lies within your control. Therefore, you should focus all your attention on Dharma practice. This Upasaka failed to apply the power of his Dharma practice at the time of death. He did not choose the right moment. When dying, he focused instead on uncontrollable things, immersing himself in them. The things he could have controlled, the Dharma practices he could have done, he neglected entirely. He misplaced his priorities. You must not be like him. He became a negative example for us all. I have 4 oral pith instructions that I printed on laminated cards more than 10 years ago and gave to my disciples. I believe they have long been lost. My disciples often fail to cherish the things I give them. When I give them teachings, they think they have already heard them and do not want to hear them again. They ask, Guru, do you have anything new to teach? Don't repeat the old things, okay? That's what they say. Then they stop listening altogether. What they do not realize that in the future, even if they wish to hear it again, they will not be able to. Do you understand? Now, I will give you these 4 oral pith instructions again, though not laminated this time. Always remember, all phenomena are like illusions. Keep these 4 lines in your mind and recite them often. All is illusory, karma resolves itself. All karmic causes and effects will settle by themselves. Do not interfere as you cannot interfere. First, resolve your own mind. If you want to settle your own karma, you must practice the Dharma diligently. If you do not plant the cause of Dharma practice, how can there be the result of Dharma practice, right? The suffering of reincarnation is fierce, do not cling to it. Rebirth is agonizing. It is like an ocean of fire that will surely burn you completely. Do not cling to it any longer. Do not let the trivial affairs of daily life consume all your time, leaving you no room for Dharma practice, until you forget even what the word death means. Now, let us take a look. Earlier, we asked, why is it that some people practice the Dharma diligently, yet still fail? It is because they have not earnestly practiced the 4 thoughts that turn the mind towards the Dharma. They have not truly directed their minds toward the Dharma with sincerity. Do not spend your days longing to embrace your wife. You should embrace the Dharma. If, at the moment of death, you hold fast to the Dharma instead, then there will be no problem. Isn't that so? Today, I want to give you an example. There is a very strict master. I used to think that I myself was quite strict. In fact, among all Buddhist associations, ours is probably the strictest. As a teacher, I already consider myself quite rigorous. However, I must tell you, compared to another master, I am far behind. That is why I deeply admire him. He can do things I cannot. I am truly left in the dust. Let me tell you how remarkable this master is. When he teaches the 4 thoughts that turn the mind towards the Dharma, he instructs his disciples to combine them with visualizations. His method is truly incredible. Let me tell you. He is in a monastery in the Tibetan region of mainland China, teaching 200 to 300 Dharma practitioners. He specializes in the Great Perfection, and he is of the Nyingma tradition, or the Red Sect. Impressive, isn't it? How does he teach? He is extremely strict. How does he teach his disciples to visualize the 4 thoughts that turn the mind towards the Dharma? Like this. He points to the snowy ground and says, look at that snow field, filled with worms. Do you know that they were once Dharma practitioners who cultivated here, even some who were monks in their past lives? Look at them now. They have become worms. If you don't practice the Dharma diligently, if you fail to observe the precepts, you will end up just like them. Do you understand? He then says, now look at that latrine. You must understand, their monastery is not as modern as ours. There is no flushing system. It is the old kind of pit toilet, where the waste accumulates and breeds countless maggots. Then he says, do you know that the maggots in a single pit are more numerous than all the people in the world? Most of those maggots are the rebirths of Dharma practitioners, some even were monks. Look at them. They once claimed to be Dharma practitioners, and now they have fallen to this state. Still you won't observe your precepts. Still you won't practice the Dharma. That is how he scolds his disciples. He also says, do you know that outside our monastery there are many starving dogs? Many of them were once Dharma practitioners here. Because they violated serious precepts, they couldn't even be reborn as maggots inside the monastery pit. They could only become hungry dogs outside the temple walls. They wander constantly, starving and thirsty. Miserable, isn't it? That is the suffering of reincarnation. Just look at them. Then you'll know how wretched rebirth truly is. Yet you still refuse to practice the Dharma diligently. Still so lazy. That's how he scolds his disciples, harshly and relentlessly. And there is another thing he says. Do you know how many empowerments those Dharma practitioners received? Do you know how many practices they performed? How many teachings they heard? Yet in the end, they still became dogs, still became worms. That is what he says. Every teaching session lasts about 8 hours, and he spends several hours just scolding people. From the very start of the class, scolding, 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 for hours, and only after that does he teach a little. What does he teach? He explains the Great Perfection, as I taught you in the Compassion series. Do you remember? At the beginning, I also taught several sessions on the Great Perfection, selecting some essential points for you. He teaches in the same way, explaining the key principles and vital instructions of the Great Perfection. What does he teach when he teaches the Great Perfection? He has 200 or 300 disciples sit down together, and then he teaches them the Vairochana's 7-point posture of meditation, because he is also of the Nyingma tradition, the Red sect. He teaches the Vairochana's 7-point posture of meditation, the purification practice on the 9 steps in receiving Buddha's winds, and also instructs them to make the Bodhisattva vow. After all of this, he tells them to meditate. When they meditate, guess what happens? The master's desk is full of objects. Whenever he spots a disciple sitting incorrectly, or lost in wandering thoughts, if he happens to be holding a teacup, he will throw it straight at them, shouting, "What are you doing sitting like that? What are you thinking about? You're going to die soon, and you're still daydreaming. Sit properly." Sometimes, while disciples are meditating, as you know, when you sit deeply, you start to settle into samadhi. One person described it like this: just as I was beginning to enter meditational concentration, suddenly the master shouted loudly, "Why are you sitting like that?" He was actually scolding the person next to me, not me, but I was so startled I nearly jumped up. Ordinarily, being startled like that would make you lose focus, but not in this case. The same disciple described it like this: the more he scolded people, the more things flew from his table. Almost everything was thrown. I can't even say how many people were hit. Some were shouted at, "Stand up right now. Get out." And then they were no longer allowed to sit meditate at all. He would drive people out, very fierce indeed. But the fiercer he became, the better I could meditate. I sat for an hour, but it felt like only a few minutes had passed. I was so frightened I didn't dare move a muscle. I focused exactly where he told me to focus, utterly still, and in that, I truly achieved concentration. There were no stray thoughts at all. Normally when I sit, my mind is full of distractions, but after he shouted at me or threw a cup, every delusive thought vanished instantly. So this master, he is truly fierce. I really feel ashamed in comparison. I could never do that. I merely speak gently to my disciples, saying, "Please don't violate precepts like that. It's not right. You'll harm others if you do. You mustn't." But after just a few gentle words from me, some disciples immediately quit the association, saying they would not study Buddhism anymore, would not practice the Dharma again. That is how it goes. Yet his disciples are not like that, although of course, some of them do leave as well. There was once a disciple who suffered greatly, truly endured hardship. Why so much hardship? Because in that monastery, as you know, the toilets are those old pit latrines. The monks are not allowed to live inside the monastery, they can only rent simple lodgings outside, far less advanced than what we have here. This disciple was very poor, and could not afford anything better, so he lived in a slum. There were many thieves there, even in broad daylight. While he napped, thieves would break in and take whatever they saw. He dared not make a sound. For if he did, they would beat him. And if he were injured, he would not be able to continue practicing the Dharma. There were so many thieves in those places that he simply stopped locking his door. After all, he had nothing worth stealing. He was utterly destitute, poor as white paper, living there only for the sake of Dharma practice. He could not make much offering. He came solely to practice the Dharma. He said that it was very miserable. How miserable? He said, before dawn, around 2 o'clock in the night, we have to start from where we live, and since there are no vehicles, we must walk to the monastery. Along the way there are many hungry dogs that bite people, moving in packs like starving wolves. Because they are too hungry, they bite any person they see, as if wanting to eat people. Because they are too thirsty, they want to drink human blood. Therefore, they carry wooden sticks with them. But the hungry dogs are truly too many. Sometimes, in order to drive them away, the sticks break, so they must carry a bag full of stones. If the stick breaks, they use stones to throw at the dogs. If we do not throw them to death, it will be us who die. Then I thought, this is bad. I wonder how they cultivate compassion in such an environment. It is very hard to cultivate it. Should one hit the dogs or not hit them? Throw stones or not throw? I do not know. I do not understand how their master teaches this. He further described the misery. The place where they sit has no roof, only tents, but the tents have holes. If it rains, we actually sit directly on muddy ground, you know. After listening to the Dharma, when we stand up, we all become like mud monkeys. Our whole bodies covered in mud. Then many muddy monkeys stand up and go home. It is very miserable. But even though it is so miserable, those people will not leave, even if pushed away. There are still 200 or 300 people staying to study. Why? He said, I've been to countless monasteries, but could not learn anything, not even a single oral pith instruction of the great perfection. But here, at least I can learn some great perfection teachings and practices. I have obtained what I seek, so even if beaten, I will not leave. Even if I have no money, I shamelessly stay. Even when all his money is used up, he still does not leave. Even if there is nothing to eat, he will not go. He is only for the sake of cultivation, if one has such determination. Dharma practice requires determination. Why do I praise this guru? Because his success rate is high. Among the disciples who practice under him, most succeed in cultivation. His rate of success is high, and that greatly impresses me. The 4 thoughts that turn the mind towards the Dharma he teaches are practiced in this way. That is, you must all obey completely. If you do not practice, I will hit you. Once, there were Dharma believers surrounding him wanting to ask questions, but he had to hurry to the town for business. As they pulled him, guess what he did? He slapped one across the face, so hard that blood came from the mouth. The believers were terrified and no longer dared to pull him. Once there was a disciple who could not endure the hardship, feeling it was too painful, but of course did not dare to say so directly. He told the master, I miss my father very much. I must go home to care for him. I wish to bid farewell, and will not continue learning. Guess what the master did? I truly could not do such a thing. If my disciple wished to leave, I would remain silent. But this master was different. He swung his fist and hit the disciple's head, then said, the Dharma is not yet learned. Why are you leaving? Then he walked away, ignoring that disciple. His meaning was, you may go if you wish, but I have warned you. The Dharma is not yet learned, you will harm yourself. What happened to that disciple? According to that person's account, the disciple said, I don't know why, but after being punched by him, my whole mind became clear. I decided not to leave. No matter how much suffering, I must endure it. I must finish learning before leaving. In the end, he did not leave. In fact, this master is very compassionate. As I said earlier, there is an exceptional form called wrathful appearance. He does not have hatred in his mind, nor greed, hatred, or ignorance. In his heart there is no greed, hatred, or ignorance, but only compassion. It is out of compassion for his disciples that he is so fierce, do you understand? All of his disciples can meditate for several hours at a time. Some of his disciples said, do you know? We cannot be late, if we are late, we cannot enter. Therefore, none of us dare to sleep at night. We only meditate until after 2 in the middle of the night, then immediately take our torches, hold our sticks tightly, and set off on foot to the monastery. The suffering and hardship of their cultivation and study of the Dharma surpass those of my current disciples by countless millions of times. My disciples are all pampered and spoiled. If you scold them twice, they immediately leave. Look at this master, he hits his disciples. After every teaching, he asks them how they understand the great perfection teachings he just explained. If a disciple cannot express his understanding or feelings, he strikes them. He scolds, you still don't understand this. And that earns another blow. Those who are struck immediately understand. That is his method of teaching. This master's way is an extremely strict form of instruction. Whether he is strict or not is not the key point, the success rate is what truly matters. If his disciples' success rate is high, then his strictness is truly not born of greed, hatred, or ignorance, it comes from compassion. His success rate is extremely high, simply much higher than that of the disciples I teach now. That is why I truly admire him. Although I cannot be like him, I still deeply admire him. That is, all of his disciples can meditate for hours without moving. Unlike my disciples, who cry for help after sitting just 20 minutes. So, you must remember, what is Dharma practice? Look at how others practice. Then you will not need to ask your teacher why your own Dharma practice is unsuccessful. So remember, the wrathful expression of this master is the same as the wrathful deities spoken of in the esoteric Buddhism. It is a kind of wrath that arises from compassion. I do not know whether this can truly be called wrath. His appearance is wrathful, but his heart holds no anger, it only looks fierce to others. Remember, the 4 thoughts that turn the mind towards the Dharma are the essential foundation for practicing the great perfection. The great perfection directly trains in the cultivation of emptiness, neither existence nor voidness. It can help you attain Buddhahood. However, if you try to skip stages and practice the great perfection, without completing the 4 preliminary practices, you will never succeed. Therefore, this master has one special trait, he teaches nothing but the 4 preliminary practices and the great perfection. He does not teach other things such as deity yoga. Why? Because by practicing only the 4 preliminary practices and the great perfection, you can achieve Buddhahood, through the current body in the present lifetime. It is not necessary to practice deity yoga, or receive many empowerments. Of course, a great perfection empowerment must be received, but is the empowerment alone enough? No, it is not. He focuses on training of the mind. This strict master's entire teaching is directed toward cultivating the mind. Therefore, you must remember that if you wish to attain Buddhahood, through the current body in the present lifetime, the prerequisite is to practice the common 4 preliminary practices thoroughly. If not, you will be like that Upasaka, reborn as a worm. The founder of the Tibetan Buddhism, Guru Padmanabhava, once taught about the common 4 preliminary practices, saying, if you do not remember death, you will find you have no time to practice the Dharma. He said that if you do not think of death daily, you will always say you have no time to practice the Dharma. You will always feel later is fine, I'll practice soon. This is what is meant by the preciousness of 10 endowments. True leisure and full opportunity are extremely hard to obtain. Now you have leisure, you can practice the Dharma. And you even have a guru explaining the Dharma, yet you still do not practice. That is such a waste. You will never accomplish anything, you simply will not practice. Visualize the impermanence. You should visualize the impermanence, such as the Omicron virus that suddenly appeared. What arises suddenly, that is impermanence. If you still think you have plenty of time to practice the Dharma, that is just your being naive. Do you understand? Guru Padmanabhava said, if you do not believe in karmic retribution, you will not abandon unwholesome actions. I see that many Dharma practitioners nowadays frequently commit deeds that violate the precepts. All are extremely malicious. When you see them, you feel alarmed. Such cruel actions can actually be done, truly bringing harm to others. Why is this so? Are they not Dharma practitioners? This is because they do not believe in karmic retribution. Therefore, we must know evil and virtuous karma. If you do not know evil and virtuous karma, then you will be like that Upasaka. Even if you observe the precepts strictly, it is of no use. At the moment of death, being ignorant of evil and virtuous karma, you will turn into a worm. He said, if you do not fear the suffering of reincarnation, and have no renunciation, you will not obtain liberation. You certainly cannot be liberated. You are not afraid at all, you think reincarnation is rather good. There is the sweetness of love, is that not pleasant? You have wife and children at your side, the joy of family life. Is that not delightful? You will indeed feel happiness, yet your happiness is very short-lived. It is not telling you not to enjoy family happiness, nor forbidding marriage and children, that is not the meaning. It only tells you not to be fixed upon a single point of love, but to elevate it into compassion and bodhicitta. You truly must cultivate diligently, do not cease Dharma practice, because of family. This is the essential point. Therefore, you must fear the suffering of reincarnation. If you do not perceive reincarnation as painful, you will not practice the Dharma. Instead, you will say, let our whole family go to have a grand meal together and seek happiness. What cultivation? Meditation. Like those people in temples, sitting for hours. Of course I will not do that. I just recite a few more mantras. Who has the leisure? Some of my disciples are exactly like this. Guru Padmanabhava said, if you seek liberation only for yourself, possessing merely renunciation, but utterly lacking bodhicitta, then you have no awareness. If you wish only to save yourself and not others, then you shall have no opportunity to attain Buddhahood. He meant that one must be all-pervasive, regarding all sentient beings as not different from oneself, merging as one. You must truly be able and willing to save sentient beings, not saving only yourself, but also others. Then can you merge into the Dharma realm and attain Buddhahood. If you lack bodhicitta, you will not be able to accomplish it. He said, do not even think of the result of attaining Buddhahood. Therefore, the uncommon 4 preliminary practices must be cultivated in connection with their awareness and visualizations. Having spoken of the common 4 preliminary practices, let's now speak of the uncommon 4 preliminary practices. The uncommon 4 preliminary practices are likewise to be practiced in connection with their awareness and visualizations. What are the uncommon 4 preliminary practices? They are these 4: taking refuge and aspirations, offering the mandala, the Vajrasattva purification practice, and the Guru Yoga. At present, most esoteric Buddhist practitioners merely perform these 4 stages in the form of recitation, therefore, their 4 preliminary practices are completely unqualified. I can tell you, they could not even pass the stage faced by that Upasaka. That is, at the very moment of death, they too would not pass through that stage. Let us see. What is recitation? What do they recite? For taking refuge and aspirations, they recite the 4 refuge mantras and consider it finished. What is offering the mandala? It is, in esoteric Buddhism, the chanting in Tibetan form to offer various offerings to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. That is, similar to the 37 practices to enlightenment. Its name is offering the mandala. They are chanting such things. I offer the sun, I offer the moon, I offer the universe to the Buddha. Are you pleased? It is this sort of thing, is it not? What is the Vajrasattva purification practice? They will recite the 100-syllable mantra and consider it done. Perhaps they do not even know how to practice the method of Vajrasattva purification, they only recite the 100-syllable mantra, which is the mantra of Vajrasattva. Please refer the video, The 100-Syllable Mantra of Vajrasattva, The Origin, Meaning, Merits, and Method of Reciting, from the YouTube of our Dudjom Buddhist Association International. For the Guru Yoga, they merely recite the Guru Mantra and consider the task completed. Some people separate taking refuge and aspirations into two parts. When taking refuge and aspirations are treated as two, it is called the 5 preliminary practices. If you separate taking refuge and aspirations, it becomes the 5 preliminary practices. If you combine them, it is called the 4 preliminary practices. However, the problem is that they do not practice in connection with their awareness. All esoteric Buddhist practitioners merely recite what I mentioned and consider the practice completed. They do not cultivate their awareness, nor do they practice visualizations. At most, there is a little visualization, very roughly done. In this way, they consider the 4 preliminary practices completed. Therefore, such practices are of little use. To practice the great perfection, one must have certain foundations. These foundations mean that one must complete and perfect all these practices. One should first complete the 4 preliminary practices, or the 5 preliminary practices, before learning the great perfection. But can they be practiced together? We will speak about that later. Some people misunderstand that practicing the great perfection does not require the cultivation of any other methods. This is incorrect. If you practice the great perfection without the 4 preliminary practices, or the 5 preliminary practices, you will certainly not succeed. Even the master I mentioned earlier, whose success rate is so high, also teaches the 4 preliminary practices and the 5 preliminary practices. When he teaches the 4 thoughts that turn the mind towards the Dharma of the common 4 preliminary practices, he would instruct all his disciples to go to toilets and dung pits, to look at the many worms, and said, "Is it frightening enough? If you still do not know fear, in the future you will become that worm. Why are you not quickly practicing the Dharma?" He teaches in this way. Therefore, the prerequisite for practicing the great perfection is to cultivate the 4 preliminary practices and the 5 preliminary practices. Let us now look at this diagram. If you are to practice the Dharma, you must connect all things in cultivation. I have said this before. Even in this stage, the 10 beliefs, the 10 abodes, the 10 types of practices, and the 10 dedication of merits, we should indeed cultivate them. However, I can tell you, most Dharma practitioners nowadays, especially esoteric Buddhist practitioners, and even those of the exoteric schools, are the same or even worse. The exoteric Buddhism does not even have visualization, they only tell you the names so that you have a rough idea, and that is all. Some do not even tell you the names, and thus you have no idea what they are. Some of my disciples who had practiced the exoteric tradition told me, "Master, I have read through the books, and there is not a single one that explains what are the 10 beliefs, the 10 abodes, the 10 types of practices, and the 10 dedication of merits. After reading them, I still do not know what they talk about. I cannot even find them online, reading them makes me even more confused than before." Therefore, they asked me to explain. This indeed must be explained. According to the order of this chart, I must teach you to cultivate in this manner. In order to teach you how to practice, I must do the explanation, must I not? Sooner or later, it must be explained. Therefore, I am still explaining the 10 beliefs, the later parts have not yet been taught. However, people nowadays skip this step, and do not cultivate it. The complete system of cultivating the awareness, the cultivation of the mind and Dharma practice, exists only in our Dudjom Buddhist Association, International. Others, of course, will not speak of it. Is that not so? As for the Diamond Sutra, they will not even explain it. Next comes the 4 preliminary practices. They rush through them quickly, chanting only a few mantras, skipping everything else. What does this mean? It is almost as if they have done no Dharma practice at all. Therefore, this kind of skipping is not good. Now, we must remember this. It means that they lack both the awareness and the visualization. They cannot possibly achieve Buddhahood in this very life. This has been skipped. If you wish to attain Buddhahood in this very life, but do not cultivate these and instead skip, it is impossible to achieve it. However, modern esoteric Buddhist practitioners have removed all of these, they do not cultivate them. What do they focus on instead? They focus on these. They practice the Yidam practice of the generation stage, and the practice on emptiness of the completion stage. They frantically seek empowerments, receiving many of them, practicing countless methods, until everything becomes chaotic. Because their awareness is insufficient, they cannot purify the 5 aggregates, the 5 databases remain uncleared. As a result, what happens? They all fail. Therefore, I truly admire that master, that mainland master, truly excellent. He would point at those worms and say, do you know that many of them were once ordained monks, who had cultivated before, received many empowerments, and claimed to have practiced this and that. Look at them now, they have become worms. Thus, I wish to tell you now, they are destined to fail. Now then, how can we succeed? You must cultivate this part. If you wish to attain Buddhahood through the current body in the present lifetime, you must cultivate this part. What is this part? It consists of the 10 beliefs, the 10 abodes, the 10 types of practice, the 10 dedication of merits, and the 4 preliminary practices, or the 5 preliminary practices. Moreover, you must cultivate them in connection with their awareness and visualization. That is, you must practice according to my method of the mind training and Dharma practice. Otherwise, you will not succeed. Therefore, we must remember this content. In contrast, this part we may skip and need not cultivate. What part is that? It is the deity yoga and the practice on emptiness. For within the great perfection there is already emptiness. We only need to practice these directly, beginning with the 4 sets of 10, together with the 4 preliminary practices, cultivating them through the mind training procedure, until we attain that awareness and visualization. And then practice in connection with the awareness. That is, directly practice the great perfection. If these are cultivated together, you can indeed accomplish Buddhahood through the current body in the present lifetime. You may skip the deity yoga and the practice on emptiness. It is possible not to practice them. Therefore, that mainland master whom I said was excellent. He is precisely like this. He teaches only this part. As for the 4 sets of 10, I do not know whether he teaches them. But he definitely teaches the 4 preliminary practices. He teaches them together with the great perfection. Therefore, his success rate is truly very high. Many of his disciples have attained Buddhahood through the current body in the present lifetime. Now, let us take a look. If we wish to continue with our Dharma practice, is there a practice method that can perfect all the stages? Earlier, we mentioned that you could skip the deity yoga. But if you skip it, what are the drawbacks? I wish to tell you, the drawback is this. If your cultivation of the 5 preliminary practices is not solid, then your practice of the great perfection will certainly not succeed. Since the great perfection does not include the deity yoga, it means that you will either succeed completely or fail completely, either you attain Buddhahood, or you do not. If you fail to attain Buddhahood, because you have not practiced the deity yoga, you will fall. Bang. Crash. And not even know how to reach a Buddha's pure land. Do you understand? If you had cultivated the deity yoga, then at the very least, even if your practice is not perfect, you could still reach a Buddha's pure land. But now, because you wish to attain Buddhahood, you skip and do not cultivate the deity yoga. You only cultivate the 5 preliminary practices and the great perfection, but not the deity yoga. As a result, if your cultivation fails and you cannot attain Buddhahood, you may fall into the 3 lower realms, and may not even be reborn as a human. It means that you cannot reach a Buddha's pure land. So then, is there a practice method that can fulfill all the stages? As you know, from the 10 beliefs to the complete enlightenment there are so many stages, which require 3 great asamkhya kalpa. Yet you say that Buddhahood can be attained through the current body in the present lifetime. Then is there a single method that can encompass everything? What I want is a practice that includes everything in the entire diagram, that can lead to Buddhahood in this very life. Is there such a method? I now answer you, yes, there is. It is precisely the method currently taught at the Dudjom Buddhist Association, International. Let me now explain how this method can include all the stages and lead to Buddhahood in this very life. First, it must include the 4 sets of 10. Why are they included? Am I not explaining them right now? Do you know why I began teaching the Compassion and Bodhicitta series? It is because I must explain everything in this entire diagram, so that when my disciples begin the actual practice, they can connect with what I have taught. If I do not explain it, how could they connect with the actual practice I teach? The actual practice I now instruct them in must correspond with these teachings. Therefore, the method I am teaching must include the 4 sets of 10. I am explaining them now. Second, the 4 preliminary practices must include the deity yoga, the practice on emptiness, and also the awareness of the great perfection. It must include all of these. However, to include everything, there is one condition: if you wish to attain Buddhahood in this very life, it would be great if there is a ritual that encompasses everything. But it depends on how your guru teaches. For the guru himself is the key. If he leads slightly astray, then everything becomes distorted. Therefore, the guru must integrate the entire mind training procedure, the complete teaching of the mind training and Dharma practice, which means everything must correspond in full. The 4 sets of 10 must correspond, the 4 preliminary practices must also correspond, and the deity yoga must likewise be aligned with the mind training and Dharma practice. Even if one teaches through the great perfection, it must still be in harmony with this entire process of mind training and Dharma practice. Now, let us see. What is this method that is so remarkable, which includes all forms of cultivation, and completely fulfills every stage? What is this method called? Let us now talk about it. This is the 4th introductory teaching of the Dudjom Buddhist Association, International, which includes everything. This 4th practice can help you to be liberated from samsara, or attain Buddhahood in this very life, or this very body. Even if you cannot attain Buddhahood, at the very least you can be freed from samsara. What does liberation from samsara mean? It means being able to enter the Akanistha heaven, the highest of the heavenly realms. Once there, you are liberated from samsara. This method has 4 stages, and its name is the common and uncommon 4 preliminary practices of the Dudjom Tersar lineage. Who designed this ritual practice? It was created by His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche II. Its essential prerequisite is, in fact, the teacher who imparts it. This practice must be taught together with the entire process of the mind training and Dharma practice, although this process is not explicitly described in the ritual text itself. The ritual itself is very simple, only a few lines. But everything is contained within it. It all depends on how the guru instructs the visualization. If the guru's ability is insufficient, and when you follow the ritual, you will feel that there are many shortcomings. However, in reality, this ritual already contains everything. The entire process is included within it. But you must work with the visualizations. In truth, this practice must be combined with the full process of the mind training and Dharma practice that I now teach. That is, to enhance the awareness and practice together with emptiness, guided by oral instructions. In this way, it can be accomplished. If you teach the Dudjom Tersar lineage in this way, it can indeed be achieved. The prerequisites and the swift path for successfully practicing the great perfection and attaining Buddhahood in through the current boy in the present lifetime are all contained within this method. Why? Because this practice can be integrated with the great perfection. It is present within it. However, whether the teacher truly teaches it, this is the key. If the teacher does not integrate it, then it is absent, and without it, one cannot attain Buddhahood through the current body in the present lifetime, nor can one be liberated from samsara. But I am now teaching it. Thus, it depends on whether your guru has included it. This is how it is. It is originally divided into 4 parts, is it not? Most importantly, and this is what makes this method so special even within the section of taking refuge and aspirations, it already encompasses the visualization for rebirth in a Buddha's pure land, liberation from samsara, and attaining Buddhahood. Thus, this method is powerful because it includes a complete system of visualization. This visualization is taught by His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche II. When this visualization is combined with the other three components, it can enable you to attain Buddhahood through the current body in the present lifetime. Why? Because even the part of taking refuge and aspirations already contains all of these elements. However, you must integrate the elements of the Great Perfection and the program of cultivation of the mind and Dharma practice that I am now teaching. These must be added. If you do not add them, it will not work. You will not be able to attain Buddhahood through the current body in the present lifetime. You might not even be able to be freed from samsara. Everything must be integrated. I did include all of these elements then. If you integrate them, your practice will become more complete and stable, and your likelihood of success will increase rapidly. Therefore, within this teaching, I have especially added the elements of the Great Perfection, and incorporated the program of cultivation of the mind and Dharma practice to instruct my disciples. What are the advantages of this teaching? The 4 stages, these 4 components, are all complete. If you wish to integrate the awareness, you must also combine it with the mind training and Dharma practice that I teach. That entire program must be complete. It already contains visualization within it, and when you add the teaching of the Great Perfection, that visualization will certainly help you attain Buddha through the current body in the present lifetime. Therefore, we must integrate the elements of the Great Perfection into this teaching. In this way, you can become a Buddha in this very life or body. Then, why did I begin the series of the visualization practice of compassion and bodhicitta? It is because I started teaching this ritual 20 years ago. However, I taught this ritual in several stages, without rushing to impart everything at once. At that time, I had not yet added the elements of the Great Perfection, nor included the oral pith instructions, nor fully incorporated the complete program of the mind training and Dharma practice. At that time, my intention was to train my disciples gradually, step by step, building the foundation carefully. However, after teaching step by step for many years, I realized that my disciples were not diligent in their practice. They were overly ambitious, constantly requesting new teachings. As a result, they could not focus their minds on the common and uncommon 4 preliminary practices, and thus, in the future, they might die like that Upasaka. In order to save my disciples, I thought to myself, one must understand that any actual practice must be accompanied by both the theoretical aspect and the practical aspect. Regarding the practical aspect, I had already taught them a portion of it, divided into many stages. At the time, I had taught them at least 1/5 of the whole, with 4/5 still remaining untaught. However, they did not practice diligently even to that 1/5. So I wondered, how could I make my disciples practice more diligently? I could not imitate that master who threw cups or struck his students. My fists are merely ornamental fists. If I threw a punch, my fingers would break before it could awaken anyone. I could not do such a thing. Slap them. How could I bear to do that? My own palm would ache, let alone their faces. I could neither strike nor throw things at them. So, what other method was there? I thought, why not start a public lecture series, revealing what I had originally planned to teach only internally, the 4 sets of 10, the 10 beliefs, the 10 abodes, the 10 types of practices, and the 10 dedication of merits, as well as the common 4 preliminary practices, including their detailed visualizations and foundational instructions. In short, I decided to explain publicly everything that could be taught openly, those teachings that do not involve visualizations, or violate the vows a guru must uphold. I hope to explain in detail the entire program of cultivation of the mind and Dharma practice, not in private sessions, but in open teachings. By revealing all that can be spoken openly, I could benefit not only many others, but also my own disciples. Therefore, you will notice that this series follows a specific sequence. From the very beginning, I spoke about the Great Perfection. You would have seen that I presented several oral pith instructions and explanations on the Great Perfection over a number of sessions. If you can absorb and comprehend at least 50% of what I taught in these sessions, you will be qualified to receive from me, in the internal teachings, the elements of the Great Perfection. If, however, after hearing these sessions you still do not know what I am speaking about, then it means there would be little point in my teaching you further internally, would there not? Therefore, I gave several sessions as explanations, to see whether any disciples could digest them. If they could assimilate the teachings, they would be able to repeat and explain them back to me, showing how they could apply them in their own cultivation. If they could not explain, then that means that it has been unsuccessful, right? In fact, they can always review the teachings on YouTube, can they not? I have not hidden them. Let's see whether they will be diligent and obedient. Then, in the third, fourth, and fifth sessions, I spoke on the process of death. How does the entire natural law of the universe unfold? This is very important, and I have already explained it to them. After that, you would have seen that I began to teach the Heart Sutra. Why did I teach the Heart Sutra? Because the Heart Sutra expounds the state of the Dharma realm, which is essential to the practice of the great perfection. Therefore, I had to teach it. However, you may notice that I finished teaching the Heart Sutra rather quickly, because it merely describes as the state, condition, and operating principle of the Dharma realm. It functions under the principle of nothing to be attained, everything within it is of the nature of non-attainment. Why did I go on to teach the Diamond Sutra, and spend such a long time on it? If one teaches the great perfection without expounding the Diamond Sutra, that is a great deficiency. The oral pith instructions of the Diamond Sutra help us to integrate the Dharma practice into our daily life. If you are to teach the great perfection, you must also teach the Diamond Sutra. The oral pith instructions of the Diamond Sutra must be explained in detail, teaching people how to apply them, how to integrate them with their ritual practice. Only then can one practice the Dharma successfully. At least the topic of abiding in notions, I have spoken on it for a long time, for many sessions, haven't I? At the very least, my disciples must understand what abiding in notions means. The case of that Upasaka, I explained earlier, was to illustrate precisely what abiding in notions means. What are the consequences of abiding in notions? What is love? What is compassion? What is bodhicitta? I believe that, after hearing so many of my teachings, they should now have a basic understanding. The reason I am teaching this series is that, in the aspect of actual practice, I wish to align and teach the complete process through which one may attain Buddhahood, through the current body in the present lifetime, so that my disciples may practice it. To reach that stage, one must certainly have a corresponding theoretical foundation. Therefore, I began this. All the content I have presented in this series has been deliberately structured and arranged. If you can follow this sequence, study it deeply, and truly comprehend it, then when you eventually enter our Dudjom Buddhist Association, International, for actual practice, you will be able to grasp the teachings easily. Likewise, even my present disciples must integrate the theoretical foundation I am now teaching in order to succeed in their Dharma practice. Therefore, when I told some disciples that they would have to take examinations covering all lessons from the 1st to the 38th episodes, they immediately pulled long faces and said, "So much pressure. So much pressure. Under such stress, I cannot continue my Dharma practice." Then my heart softened. I could not learn from that master throwing a cup at them. When my heart softened, I thought, you truly are busy. You must look after your son, care for your daughter, accompany your wife, attend to your father and mother. Yes, you must go to work, yes, you must eat. Very well, no examination then. Thus, I cancelled the examination once again. So, can they truly grasp all that has been taught in so many sessions and integrate it with the practical teachings I wish to impart? I truly do not know. Do you ask them to take examinations? They might leave the association at any time and stop studying. I have no means to deal with this. The disciples of others would not leave even when their guru threw cups at them, but mine would leave after a few more words. I really have no way. Isn't that so? I am already known to be strict, yet I am far from being as strict as others. If you ask me to comment on myself, I would say that I am completely lax. I think I am far too lenient. With such an approach, disciples cannot succeed in their Dharma practice. Therefore, after listening to this session, you must remember to be obedient. The Guru speaks with such effort, even to the point of coughing, all for the sake of saving you. Must I really throw a cup at you before you believe that I am trying to save you? I have no reason to drag you to a latrine to look at worms, have I? That I cannot do. We have no latrine either. Therefore, you must remember that I cannot teach you by using such means. You must practice the Dharma diligently by yourself. Very well, this session is finished. Now, let's do a review. That is, all our Dharma practice methods must maintain balance and must not be unbalanced. If there is deviation, you will not succeed in Dharma practice. We must elevate the awareness. What is the awareness? It means that you must be aware of all actions of body, speech, and mind, to see whether they accord with the discipline of the Dharma, with correct views, right knowledge, and the balanced practice of the middle way. Secondly, you must be aware of the process of transforming the mind. You must, through the 5 steps of your mind training procedure, transform the mind into wisdom. Thirdly, you must be aware of the enhancement of the 5 wisdoms and lead them into emptiness, neither existence nor voidness, the state of oneness. If you possess these forms of the awareness, you can practice the Dharma in line with afflictions being Bodhi. The Sutra of the Garland of a Bodhisattva's primary karmas states that when we cultivate the 10 beliefs, we must take 1 to 3 kalpa to reach the first called a Bodhisattva, who sets his mind upon Buddhahood. How long is 1 kalpa? It equals 4,320 million years. The Sutra for Humane Kings says that you must practice the right path for 10,000 kalpa, but if you advance and retreat with uncertainty, like a feather drifting in the wind, you will truly need 10,000 kalpa to accomplish the 10 beliefs. Treatise on the Awakening of Faith also states that if you do not pass through 10,000 kalpa, you may not accomplish the 10 beliefs. Therefore, if you wish to attain achievement, you should practice in accordance with the program of cultivating the mind and Dharma practice that we now teach. Only thus can it be swift. Hence, if you wish to attain Buddhahood in this very life, or this very body, what should you do? The fastest method of cultivating the 10 beliefs is to apply the mind training procedure, develop the 5 wisdoms, and coordinate with the oral pith instructions of the Diamond Sutra. After developing the 5 wisdoms, you must combine these 5 types of wisdom with the oral pith instructions of the Diamond Sutra, not abiding in notions, and not abiding anywhere in order to arouse one's awareness. Of course, the speed of attainment depends on how well you apply them. What is the aim of our mind training procedure? It is to integrate the 10 beliefs into the awareness, and train to develop the 5 wisdoms. The 10 beliefs are 10 types of the awareness. Elevate the awareness to the state of abiding in no notions, and with this, cultivate the 10 beliefs. By practicing, not abiding anywhere in order to arouse one's awareness in conjunction with the 10 beliefs, one completely remedies all difficulties and defects in the mind and daily life. Through not abiding anywhere to arouse the mind, complete the perfect enlightenment. Not abiding in notions does not mean accepting everything without action, but doing things without any attachment in line with the 10 beliefs. Not abiding anywhere in order to arouse one's awareness means to accept actively, to face positively, and to develop wisdom and reflect on all actions through the agile awareness combined with the 10 beliefs. The acceptance within our mind training procedure enables us to develop the wisdom of equality. Questioning, analyzing, and seeking the root cause help us to develop the wisdom of discernment. Treatment helps us develop the all-accomplishing wisdom. If you succeed in developing these 3 kinds of wisdom, resolving problems, correcting flaws and the mind without abiding in notions, you can then develop the mirror-like wisdom. When we have developed the mirror-like wisdom and lead it into emptiness, neither existence nor voidness, the state of oneness, and without abiding in notions, we can then develop the wisdom of Dharmadhatu. When we have developed the wisdom of the Dharmadhatu, and if we have perfected the union of compassion and bodhicitta in cultivation, then we will have cultivated the 100% of bodhicitta, the perfect enlightenment. We can thus attain Buddhahood. Please remember to refer to the visualization practice of compassion and bodhicitta series, episodes 20 to 34. Available from our Dudjom Buddhist Association, Internationals, YouTube, where the application of the 5 wisdoms is. This concludes the teaching today.